Over the past 10 years, some of the greatest moments in all of sports happened right here on Fox.
Come on, Mikey, you got it, man. You got it, you got it, you got it!
This is a presentation of Fox Sports, celebrating 10 years of excellence.
Episode of the best drama on television. The Shield, an all-new episode this week only on FX.
Fox tonight, signing on at 7, 6 Central with King of the Hill.
Nurse Barrow turns 40 today. That's still younger than the meatloaf in the cafeteria.
Later, Homer's on trial for insider trading.
The piece to answer on the grounds that I what? Inseminate myself. This guy's coming on to me.
On The Simpsons, plus a piping hot new Malcolm really delivers.
That was the taste of evil. Gooey, delicious evil.
All new episodes start at 7, 6 Central tonight on Fox.
Fox Monday, he's big.
He's coming in!
He's bad. And nothing can stop Jack Black. He's scaring the all-American family straight.
Am I getting through to you?
I like his approach.
From the creator of School of Rock.
He's just here to frighten you.
An all-new Cracking Up on its regular night and time, 8:30, 7:30 Central, Fox Monday.
The 2003 J.D. Power & Associates Award for Most Dependable Full-Size SUV just went to the GMC Yukon. Professional-grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
A president sets his agenda for America in the first 100 days. John Kerry's plan? To pay for new government spending, raise taxes by at least $900 billion. On the war on terror, weaken the Patriot Act used to arrest terrorists and protect America, and he wanted to delay defending America until the United Nations approved. John Kerry, wrong on taxes, wrong on defense.
Well, I'm taking my time, I'm just moving on. You'll forget about me after I've been gone. And I take what I find, I don't run no more. It's just outside of your front door. Yeah,
Gentlemen, start your
do what the hell you please. I got news for you, baby. Gone like a cuckoo. Raise that love. Turn it loose. Set it up, baby, baby, baby. Won't you turn it loose? I try my best to stop you. It ain't no use.
Saddle up here in Atlanta for the fastest race of the season. We welcome you back to the Home Depot pre-race show. It's a track that Jimmy Johnson says you scare yourself on as we welcome you into our corporate headquarters, the Hollywood Hotel, set up near the start-finish line of the show that goes to where the races are to bring you closer to the action. Hi, for our entire crew, I'm Chris Myers. Thanks for being with us. Welcome to the Home Depot pre-race show on Fox Sports, the place where America gathers every weekend for NASCAR. Ryan Newman on the pole today shares the front row with rookie Brian Vickers, who may have described this track best when he said the driver is on the edge of control, but it's also fun. Speaking of edgy and fun, Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Hammond, nice to have you with us.
That's us, Brady. I'm telling you.
I want to remind the listeners, we have a crawl on the lower part of the screen that gives you the latest information on your favorite driver throughout this show, the the race and the day. And by the way, nice job of the truck race, finishing third on Saturday here in Atlanta.
My man David Ruderman, I mean, he's going to be a superstar. He's fourth in the points. He's leading the rookie standings. Nice job, David. Way to go.
And a dramatic finish that we might see today. In fact, 4 times in the Atlanta race, we've had finishes that were finished on the last lap. And do the drivers have fear when they go around this track at 200 miles an hour?
Chris, the thing about this joint is you're down in that you're down in the corner. You got a handful of steering wheel. You're tugging on that steering wheel, and you're thinking all the time, man, I'm doing 170 miles an hour, and that right front tire's over. It's going. And it's an old guy. Please,
barking like a dog.
Please don't let anything happen, because you know if it does, you are going to knock that wall down, and that's going to hurt.
What's that noise again? Okay, all right, go ahead, Jeff.
What you got going on right now, Chris, is a situation where you're traveling 3 miles a minute, folks. As he said, 170 miles 70 mile an hour through the corners. You've got to be mentally focused and up on that wheel, because again, hitting those marks, getting down the straightaway like you need to, and you're coming up on your competitors so fast, you've really got to be on it.
The slogan here, real racing, real fast, and red-hot Matt Kenseth qualified 30th for today's race. His worst starting position this season, but that doesn't seem to matter, as he's proven with his back-to-back wins. And Matt joining us live down on the track as he's getting ready to get in his car and go racing. Matt, thanks for being with us. You've already doubled your win total compared to last year in defending your points championship. It seemed like there was a lot more emotion when you got out of the car in Las Vegas. Have you changed your attitude, your emotion a little bit this year?
Well, we're all definitely fired up. I mean, with the year we had last year was a great year, and I know the guys are really fired up, you know, with points change and maybe some of the criticism to try to go out and win races and try to win the championship again. So everybody's, you know, I think more excited this year than what I had last year as far as Robbie and myself and the whole DeWalt team. So it feels good to have everybody so pumped up. It feels good to start the year so great. And we've never won 2 straight and started off a year quite that strong. So we were pretty excited last week.
Yeah, you know, Matt, this is DW. Probably the thing that we heard all winter long was the change in the point system. And how does that what does it feel like to know that you may have single-handedly be responsible for that?
Well, I take a lot of pride in winning the championship last year with my team, because so many other great champions have won under that format, you know, yourself included, and Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon, and just a lot of great champions. And I feel really, really honored to be on a list with all the drivers that great. And, you know, from now on, it's going to be different. Well, it might be the guy who ran the best all year over 36 races, but yet, on the other hand, it might not. A guy could come from 10th and be 800 points behind and still, you know, get into that championship at the end of the year. So, you know, I'm really thankful that we were able to win it last year under the format that's worked so good for so many years.
Matt, this is Hammond. You guys were so good in 2003, but I talked to a lot of your team members, crew members, and they said this team's better than what it was last year. Is that possible?
Well, I think they are. We haven't had any turnover in people, and whenever, you know, this is a people sport like any other sport, and whenever you don't have turnover in people, and all the people are your buddies and your friends, and you know them by name, and they're all working hard, and after the same thing, it makes the guys better. It's the second year for our over-the-wall group being together, and we've seen in the last 2 weeks that they're better than what they were last year, and just, you know, everybody's pulling on the same end of the rope. Everybody, you know, knows each other's personality pretty well and communicates well together, and I think that's real important towards success.
All right, thanks, Matt, for taking a moment, getting into your car, and good luck today. I will talk to you later on.
All right,
good luck,
thanks.
Matt.
Of course,
go get him, buddy.
Matt gave his crew that pep talk last week. Now, he has said those years of Gordon winning 13 races in one season are gone, but are we talking to a repeat points champion here?
Well, I think it's very possible. The only thing I would say to Matt and his team is I'd like to see them step up that qualifying effort. I know that's bothering them too, but you get back here in the eye of that storm week in and week out, and that's the middle of the pack. Sooner or later, that's going to bite you. Need
Chris,
to be up front.
He's already off to a better start than Gordon or Earnhardt, who were repeat champions in the past. So I definitely believe he's got a leg up on everybody right now.
And Kenseth's 88-point lead in the Nextel Cup Championship race, the largest margin at this time in the season since Cale Yarborough in the late 70s. Now, in addition to Kenseth, Elliott Sadler surprisingly third, his best point total at this point of the season. And Casey Mears is in the top 10 for the first time in his brief Cup career. As for last week's points leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. went from 1st to 7th place. Jr. couldn't leave Las Vegas quick enough last Sunday. He finished the race in 35th place. He was in and out of the garage all afternoon without really a clear explanation. It was a testing week for the driver of the 8 car. Matt Yoakum is down on the track now with Junior. Matt?
Chris, after finishing 35th at Vegas, Junior and the Bud guys penciled in tests at both Bristol and Kentucky, combining for almost 500 laps of testing. And Junior, what were the big things that you guys learned?
Well, we just had to get the car driving better because of how bad we run in Vegas. And we're going to Texas after today to test for 2 more days. So just keep testing until we get it right. And just real happy that my team's going to put forth that kind of effort to make sure we get things dialed in. It takes a group effort, and we need to all work hard. And
you want to go with a test team possibly too, like a lot of other teams have now?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I think this is going. You're going to have test drivers and test teams and another whole set of employees just devoted to that type of thing. And it definitely cuts a lot of corners that a lot of the teams are already cutting. And you know as well as I do, if you don't cut corners, you get behind. And so it's but it doesn't come down to me. It comes down to the people with the money in their pockets. So we'll just have to see how it works out.
The first test on the agenda, they will leave here and go to Texas. And Darrell, dust off that helmet, get out the Nike racing shoes. You may have a job still yet here in racing on this side of the fence.
All right, thanks, Junior. DW, what do you make of Junior emphasizing testing?
Well, the first thing is they're going to call this car that he had in Vegas Shanita.
Why is
she
that?
needed a lot of work.
Oh, okay.
And the other thing is he keeps saying this, and I picked it up last week. I picked it up again today. We need to spend more money. Right. It comes down to money. Getting that test team out there and getting something going.
Well, I mean, he dropped out of so fast last week, faster than Howard Dean. But how does a championship team miss that big?
Well, it's real simple right now. They underestimated the new tires. And what they had to do, talk to Tony Eury Sr., he said, guys, could not believe how big a change these tires were at Las Vegas. So they had to go back to the drawing board. He really believes they're on top of it right now. They're working very hard, and they're not going to quit working until they fix it. So that's how you win championships.
Speaking of championship teams, Bobby Labonte owning a 6-pack of victories here, starting 10th today. And so what a perfect time for our Get to Know You choice game, 10 laps with.
Letterman or Leno?
Letterman.
Okay. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
All right. Beatles or the Stones?
Beatles.
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs, I guess.
All right. Short track or super speedway? I think
Short track.
Yeah, we guess. East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Republican or Democrat?
Republican.
Blonde or brunette?
Brunette.
Fishing or hunting?
Fishing.
And an earring or a tattoo?
Neither.
Okay. Okay. Paper or plastic? Just want to see if you're paying attention.
Plastic.
Plastic. All right.
Meanwhile, Casey Kane has been coming in second lately, the last 2 races, and actually on the racetrack, not the only place that the youngster's been coming in second.
Hot dog? I just told him the last one.
Excuse me.
What, second again?
I hope you win tomorrow.
All right.
Hey, how are you? Good. Casey, you would have been my second choice.
That's never happened to you. Hey, boy, you get that victory late, everybody's all over you, right? He's a guy who will. He said, "I never expected this soon," but he's tired of finishing second.
Oh yeah, he'll get. Right now it's cool, as they like to say. He won't be too dissatisfied with that. But sooner or later, he's going to start wanting to win. I see a lot of chemistry between he and Ray. Looks like Jeff Gordon and Ray a few years ago.
All right, let's go trackside for the opening ceremonies as we get ready to go racing here in Hotlanta.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the Robins Air Force Base Honor Guard and Lovejoy High School Air Force Junior ROTC present today's colors, followed by Frank Upchurch, President and CEO of Georgia Baptist Healthcare Foundation, as he delivers today's invocation.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the opportunities we have. We ask today that you will bless our country, bless our friends in Spain, and be with them in this time. Be with our military and those who protect us in foreign soils. We thank you for this facility, for those who make it a place to be. And we ask now your safety upon the drivers and their crews and their families, giving us strength in all we do. Amen.
Please remain standing as the U.S. Army 82nd Airborne Division All-American Chorus from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, performs today's national anthem.
what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
125,000 fans cheering on the drivers and their crews. Race 4 of 36. This the Nextel Cup chase for the championship. We'll be back to get things going. The Home Depot pre-race show continues. Mike Joy in the booth. Take it after this.
When Michael puts his brothers to work, he's a chicken. Tempers turn foul.
Chickens don't clap.
Did somebody say chicken?
Ready? Go.
Tune in for the dramatic conclusion of an all-new Arrested Development after Malcolm tonight on Fox. When news breaks around the world, around the block, be informed. Fox 10 News.
The spacious interiors of a Ford Expedition and Explorer are not only loaded with luxury features, they're also loaded with safety features. In the extremes of the desert, you can relax knowing that Explorer and Expedition can get you there and back safely. Inside or out, Expedition and Explorer are designed for the desert. And now, they're available with 0% financing for 60 months or up to $4,500 cash back from your Arizona Ford dealer.
Thinking about painting your car? Stop thinking, do it. Maaco's still offering the Ambassador Paint Service for only $249, the best economy paint service in America. How do we do it? Maaco paints more cars than anyone, 12 million, still counting. And that's why we charge less than anyone. Our Ambassador Paint Service is only $249. Maaco gives more value than anyone. What's value? Quality and price. For a great finish and a beautiful deal, call 1-888-MAACO-USA.
I've been racing trucks over 7 years. I've never seen a closer finish than last year at Daytona International Speedway. I was coming off of turn 4, 190 miles an hour, stacked up 3 wide to the start-finish line. I heard 90,000 fans cheering me to victory. That was very cool. Robert Presley was here, Travis Kvapil on the outside.
3 wide for the win at Daytona.
Presley put this donut on me, and he finished 3rd.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Tough trucks, tough racing.
The biggest television event of the year has arrived, and history is about to be made.
This is the beginning of the show.
Fox Tuesday. The top 12 American Idol finalists will compete on the big stage for the chance they've always dreamed of.
The competition kicks in tonight.
And from now on, only you control their destiny.
You vote, you decide.
American Idol, the final 12, a 2-hour live event at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Earnhardt Jr. takes over Wallace as we head into the final.
Racing will never be the same with exclusive content on AOL and Track Pass on NASCAR.com.
Welcome back to the Home Depot pre-race show, brought to you by the Home Depot, NASCAR's home improvement warehouse. Atlanta Motor Speedway's grandstand filling in as we close in On the start of today's race, let's go down to the starting grid. Jeannie Zalasko.
Well, 500 miles makes this more like an Ironman, and 9 engines, 9 failed the endurance test last March. One of those belonged to the 48 team of Jimmie Johnson. They had one of the fastest cars, but they weren't around for the checkered flag. You better believe it was top of mind this weekend. It's one of the reasons they ran the fewest laps during happy hour. This team is determined to get back to the top 10. Mike?
Thanks, Jeannie. Hi, everybody. And again, welcome to Atlanta. Mike Joy with Larry McReynolds. You'll see our starting lineup for today's race across the bottom of the screen as we continue to bring you information and insight. 4 of the last 10 green flag finishes at this racetrack have been closer than 1 second, and 3 of those, Larry, were side by side. Last week, we had comers and goers in the field. Today, it looks like a game of hits or misses.
Well, that's it. And I mean, this racetrack is different from what it was in yesterday's practice. And again, we keep talking about this, the shorter rear spoiler, the different tire configuration. It's like the band of a good handling car has narrowed up. These guys will have to make adjustments to these race cars all day long because this racetrack is going to constantly change. But I think the big question, can Matt Kenseth do it again? Can he come from 30th? The biggest obstacle will be the man up in 10th, who has a third of his career wins here, Bobby Labonte.
And you know, if Casey Kane is tired of finishing second, he needs to meet Harry Gant.
Yes, he does. Yeah, 2's not very many second place finishes in a row.
Harry was Mr. Second Place until he went on a tear and won several in a row. They've been racing here since 1960, 89 Cup races, 37 different winners, but a lot of very close finishes. Once again, let's go trackside.
And now let's welcome a true golf legend, Arnold Palmer, as he delivers the most famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Set to go for 500 miles, the first 500-mile race of 2004 with the unrestricted engine package. And so, with that at stake, where today is DW's hotspot?
You know, folks, every week we're going to find the trouble spot, the hot spot on the racetrack, DW's hot spot. And today, it's over here in turn 2, the crack in the track. You know, folks, you're going to hear us talk about how fast this joint is. That's all we talk about here, and it is 170 miles an hour through these turns. That's straightaway speed at a lot of tracks. But you got 2 options here. You can put that left wheel down on that white line like a Tony Stewart and ride off this corner nice and low. Or you can get up high next to the wall like a Michael Waltrip and run off the corner up high and get a good straight shot down this little straightaway. What you don't want to do and what you got to be careful of is this crack in the track. There's sealer here. You're coming off the corner, you got a handful of steering wheel, you're running 170 mile an hour, you hit this crack, you hit this sealer, your car washes out. It wants to slide up the hill. You got somebody coming by you on the outside, you make contact. When you make contact, what happens? Big boom.
Big booms and big finishes.
And what always happens over there, a 1-car problem becomes normally a 3, 4, 5 or multi-car problem.
That's CW's hotspot. Singular Wireless and Fox Sports team up to bring NASCAR fans a chance to win a VIP trip for 2 to the 400 at Daytona this July. The winner becomes the virtual crew chief of Team Singular, meets Robbie Gordon and Richard Childress, and takes the Richard Petty driving experience. Stay tuned for the Singular virtual crew chief questions in today's race. Answer the questions on your Singular's wireless phones or go to foxsports.com.
Introducing a machine that's pound for pound as tough as its grandfather. And part of a full line of compact equipment from Caterpillar. Be part of the legacy. See your Cat dealer or call 1-888-OWN-A-CAT.
So this is the living room. Plasma TV.
The awesome sound system.
Toast.
The hot tub.
The grill. Oh, yeah. Did I mention the driveway?
Check out Visa.com to learn how you and 3 friends could win the ultimate NASCAR experience. Stay in a luxury RV, get a hot lap with Rusty Wallace or Kurt Busch, and possibly win a prize bonus. Visa, proud sponsor of NASCAR. It's everywhere you want to be.
Hey, Fish Stick, your SUV's pretty tough, right? Not when friction takes over, pal. Friction and heat cause stress and wear, which over time can make that little dinghy seem a lot heavier. Nice shooting, Tex. You need Quaker State 4x4 and SUV synthetic blend. It's proven to reduce friction and deliver superior performance under high stress and heat. One word, pal. Carpool. Quaker State. The power to reduce friction. Don't make me send you the lab results.
Like sand through an hourglass and a wedge being adjusted ever so slightly, so are the races of our season. Previously seen on As the Wheel Turns.
Photo finish.
Matthew
scores his 9th career victory.
Yay! Matt!
Never in our imagination did we expect to see the very same 1-2 finish in consecutive episodes.
Casey Kane comes home second again.
Young and reckless Ryan Newman will have the pole in Atlanta 3 straight years. Oh my. And with rookie Brian Vickers, are we set for another sensational rookie finish? We made you wait. We made you wonder. Until now, the television novel that tells the story of As the Wheel Turns.
Just can't wait for next week, can you? Welcome to NASCAR on Fox. Today's telecast of the Golden Corral 500, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo. Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR and proud sponsor of the Bud Pole Award. Ryan Newman's picture emblazoned right up there. It's his 20th career pole, the second fastest driver in history in his career to reach that mark. And he, of course, goes to the Bud Shootout, as since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $8 million as title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. There, Newman leads the grid as it crawls across the bottom of the screen. The cars crawl across the start-finish line at pace lap speed, and we go to Steve Burns.
Hey, Mike, we heard DW say that Tony Stewart can drive that number 20 car at the bottom of the racetrack. Now, we typically hear drivers talk about the entrance to a turn, the middle, and the backside. But Tony Stewart takes that a step further. He talks about the turns in increments at the apex, and that's why he is so good here at Atlanta. Dick Berggren.
On Friday, Bakersfield, California's Casey Mears celebrated his 26th birthday right here at the racetrack. But he's got so much more to celebrate than just that birthday. Last week in Las Vegas, he scored his career best ever Nextel Cup finish. And in every practice session here, he has been in the top 5. I talked to him this morning. He's very confident of another career best finish. What do you think, guys? You going to do it? Yeah. All right, Matt Yoakum.
Dick, all eyes have been on young Casey Kane. The last 2 races, 2 second-place finishes. Maybe today will be the day he rolls off from the 12th position. His crew chief, Tom Baldwin Jr., told me a small air pressure adjustment from the end of final practice to this morning. The car near perfect. Owner Ray Abraham has tried to take away a lot of the attention and keep Casey's focus on the race car. It's worked well so far, guys.
A lot of focus on those young Caseys, but Darrell, the races here have traditionally gone to veteran drivers. This track is so fast. It's a kind of catch your heartbeat kind of race.
Yeah, you can wear yourself out. You can wear your equipment out here. It's 500 miles. It's very physical. You've got to save a little something for the end. That's why we have these exciting finishes year in and year out.
Larry, we talked about hits and misses. If you miss the setup, can you get there?
Yeah, I mean, this race is known for long grain runs, and that's the big problem. A lot of times you don't get a lot of opportunities to adjust on that car, so the hopes are you're close when it starts, and you can tune on it as you get those cautions and are able to make those pit stops.
Some of these pit crews participating in the McDonald's Drive-Thru Championship. The crew with the fastest pit time cumulatively for the day wins $20,000, as Jimmy Fennick did last week. And the crew with the fastest cumulative season-long pit time gets $200,000. And we're on 1 to go on a kind of cloudy day. It's been sunny here all weekend. It's been kind of nice as we get set to go for 500 miles.
This will be one we watch all day long, this pit window right here. And that number keeps shrinking, Daryl. Yeah, they keep tightening the fuel cell roos, the capacity of the fuel cells, but the biggest thing is the gears these guys are pulling. I mean, they're turning these motors 9,600 RPMs. That's the reason the guy that's most nervous down there is the engine tuner.
Yeah, the harder they work the engine, the more RPM they turn, the harder they work that engine, the more fuel it's going to consume.
That last red flag lap indicates if a caution comes out after lap 321, a red flag would not be used. You see, it's a bit overcast. There's a big storm system coming in from the west. We don't think it'll get here before this race ends.
Yeah, and let's look at the track temperature right here, 96 degrees. But I think the biggest thing is very overcast today, and I think that was a big relief to some of these guys this morning in the garage area because a lot of these cars were very loose yesterday. The cooler track conditions, overcast conditions will tighten these cars up just a little bit, make them grip the racetrack better.
We were on one to go, but car number 80 is stalled down on the apron in turn number 1. That's Andy Hillenberg. And they'll have to get Andy going before we can start.
But, you know, we talk about the track conditions, the overcast conditions. That the other big choice was the gears because the cooler temperatures, the speeds go up, the RPMs go up, so there was a huge choice of gear selection in the garage this morning. Should we pull the lower gear that we had yesterday or go with a little higher gear because the track's going to be quicker?
Now, the basic engines in these cars, let's take the Chevys, for instance, dates to 1955. It was 265 cubic inches, put out about 140, 150 horsepower, and they turned it all the way up to 4,000 RPM. That is still the basic block design and configuration that's in these cars. What are they going to turn them today?
They're going to be turning about 92, 94. I've even heard 9,600 RPMs. It's just they have much more durable parts. Rocker arms, valves, valve springs. All the parts are much more durable than they were even 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's the same basic parts, Mike, Larry, but the quality of the materials in the connecting rod, in the piston, and particularly in the valve spring area where they have imported steel from, I don't know, Europe or somewhere to make these valve springs out of. One crew chief told me, he said, the valve springs on our engine are bigger than the springs we run in the front of the car.
Wow. Daryl, can you remember a time in your career when you radioed in and said, I got plenty of power, I've got enough, I got plenty of power?
No, I can't.
No. There's the point.
More power, Scotty.
Now, we talked about close finishes. You should have been here yesterday in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. As they came off turn number 4, that's Bobby Hamilton outside, Mike Skinner inside for the win. Hamilton gets it. They had bumped earlier, and Mike Skinner made the save of the day. Hamilton the winner, Skinner second. David Rudiman from the pole, a fine third-place finish. Travis Quaffle, Matt Crafton. Wow, what a race.
And I think you just look at the names there in the top 5 in the Craftsman Truck Series. I think that just goes to show you where that series is at. I mean, that's guys that have been competitive and won races in the Nextel Cup Series.
Andy Hillenberg's car would not fire, so they're going to haul it back to the garage. He will still get credited with a 43rd place finish, should he not be able to refire that car. Here's our Quaker State aerial coverage, and you see the front grandstand is nicely filled, and you see what makes this a quad oval, that double dog leg in the front straightaway like Charlotte and other tracks. This used to be the backstretch. The track used to run around like this, like a traditional oval, and the grandstands that are now on the backstretch and the suites above them, that's where the original start-finish line was in VIP suites. And when Bruton Smith bought this track, he said, that's nice, but it's not enough. We want to reconfigure the track, so instead of tearing that down and rebuilding upon what's there, there's our old TV booth right up on top. They said, let's leave it there and change the whole racetrack and make the backstretch the front stretch, build condos, build suites. Wow.
Yeah, and here's how much room you have to rest. Well, I was going to show you. That back straightaway is 1,800 feet long. That's all you got to get your breath, because the rest of the time, the turns are trying to suck it right out of you.
Yeah, I mean, it takes 30, 31 seconds to get around this racetrack. In race trim, you're turning about 22 or 23 seconds of that time.
Now, good news for race fans. A lot of folks have been to this track and in the past said, I'm never coming back because of the traffic. There's a brand new multi-lane highway being built from I-75 right to the back door of the Speedway, and they hope to have it completed for this October's race, and that should take care of all the prior traffic problems here. And the governor Thursday said they're going to name that Bruton Smith Parkway. Pretty
I think that's appropriate. There's 125,000 plus seats here. So a lot of seats, a lot of people.
Including Arnold Palmer.
Looks pretty good in brown.
Yes, he does.
Make his 50th start in the Masters here in a couple of weeks. Well, DW coming off turn 4, 200 miles an hour racing. Reach up there and pull them belts tight one more time.
They are definitely going to get on with the program today. Here they come down, green flag out. Boogity, 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 boys! Let's go racing!
Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. At first, he didn't get a very good start, but he picked up on it going into turn 1. Jeff Gordon in the 24 car working the high side. That's the great thing about it. We already have 2 or 3 grooves of racing at this racetrack.
Yeah, with the truck race yesterday, they run that upper groove in, and it looks like it's in good shape. You can see the track is pretty dark, so it means it's got a lot of rubber on it.
Look at Casey Mears up there, 3 wide as they come off turn 4.
I mean, he's going to get about 3 or 4 positions in that half a lap right there. I mean, he is on the move on the outside.
The reason I like the outside, if you can stick there, everybody fights for the bottom. Everybody wants to get down on that inside to protect it. And you can go around a bunch of cars on the outside if your car will hang there.
Yesterday's truck winner, Bobby Hamilton, said in Victory Lane, when asked, why'd you run the outside? He says, because nobody else was there.
Go where they are
open
not.
Path.
Right. The Rocket Man, Ryan Newman, quickly rocketed away from the field. He leads outside pole sitter Brian Vickers. Vickers, Hendrick Motorsports teammates Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson. Then Dale Jarrett and Casey Mears.
And let's do not forget, that 25 car is phenomenal at this racetrack. With every driver that's been in it, they've had a chance to win here, and some have.
It's
and
like it don't matter what crew chief, what driver's in it, it just runs good.
More 3 wide as Scott Riggs is sandwiched by the Gibbs cars, Tony Stewart and teammate Bobby Labonte in the green 18.
And you might say, why are they racing this hard so early? This place is so fast. Ryan Newman will get a half a lap ahead of you before you can realize it if you're hung up in traffic back here. You can't let anybody hold you up right now.
I think this goes to show just how good that 20 car Tony Stewart's going to be. Remember, he started 19th. He's battling his teammate that started 10th as they go to the inside of Kevin Harvick in the 29 car. Already in 2.5 laps, he's almost into the top 10.
And look where those left tires are. I mean, below the white line.
Second place. Now, here are teammates who are not battling. I spoke too soon.
Darrell, Jeff Gordon in the 24, he got his teammate Brian Vickers in the 25 loose. Remember the shorter rear spoiler? He had it up there just close enough to take that rear downforce off that car.
25 was a little twitchy off the corner that time.
Robbie Loomis, I talked to him this morning. Of course, that's Jeff Gordon's crew chief. He said he's never seen Jeff go to the high side so early as he did in practice yesterday. That's not typical Jeff Gordon.
You got to try it. You got to know what the car needs to be able to run up there, because you're going to end up there sooner or later in some point in time in the race. You might get it adjusted and get back to the inside, but sometime in the race you got to go high.
You want a dark horse favorite for today? That unsponsored number 23 of Dave Blaney, who's right in this mix with the 97 of Kurt Busch, 29 Kevin Harvick, and his teammate 31 Robbie Gordon. Blaney nearly won a race here, and he was fastest in yesterday's practice. They're going to run at least 4 more races in this car with Bill Davis in hopes of attracting a full season sponsor.
And he was having a great run at Daytona. Remember in the Bud Shootout, he and Jeremy Mayfield got together for the lead. So he's been doing a good job in that car for Bill Davis and that crowd.
Watching Jamie McMurray there in the 42 car right behind this group, behind Robbie Gordon in the 31. A lot of weird changes on that car this morning, Darrell. They were changing the steering box on that car. He wanted a quicker steering turning into the corner. Donnie Wingo, his crew chief, a little nervous about that change, but he said we have to do something. We have to give the driver what he's looking for.
I believe, Larry, that like last week with the 8 car and Dale Jr., I think that's something that they're learning about the construction of these tires. They need a quicker steering box. They need a different caster setting. They've got work to do in that area, and some of these guys are figuring it out quicker than others, and we got somebody coming on pit road.
That'll be Joe Rutman in the James Finch 09. 2 cars moving fast. Here they are. Casey Mears up to 4th place. And Greg Biffle has come from 13th to 5th.
I mean, we can't forget Greg Biffle did win the Busch race here in October, and he's been pretty quick all week long here.
And you can see just up ahead of these guys. They're having a great run here fighting with each other. Right here's what I just get ready to tell you. You can see Jeff Gordon get ready to take the lead. He got a good run off of 2 back there and really closed on Ryan. Jeff's car is working exceptionally good right now.
For more on the pole sitter, here's Matt.
As Jeff Gordon dips on the inside to try to take that lead, and does, from Ryan Newman. On lap 2, Newman said the car is great, Matt. I really like it. And now he says the car is now, just like it was in the final practice session, Zini, a tick on the free side.
Well, a moment of tension in the 88 pit of Dale Jarrett. It had nothing to do with Arnold Palmer and everything to do with the fact that Dale Jarrett thought he might have a tire going down. A little panic in the pit, but as it turns out, DJ says everything is okay.
Do not adjust your set.
Steve,
that car is green today, Steve.
Well, Mike, we were talking about how Tony Stewart is coming to the front and how much attention he places on getting his car to turn in the corners. His crew members told me this morning that's because Tony Stewart loves to run on dirt where loose and sideways is fast.
Tony Stewart has come from 19th to 8th.
Now, is he talking about the car being loose or fast, or the driver being loose and fast? Because he is loose right now and going to the front.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. started 7th and runs right there behind Brian Vickers.
He was pretty happy with his car in yesterday's practice. You know, they made a few adjustments on this morning because of the conditions changing, but pretty happy, much happier than he was a week ago at Las Vegas. Another car we're going to be watching, though, closely. Rusty Wallace in that 2 car, brand new race car, untested. He was kind of bouncing high yesterday. He was pretty happy.
He's never led a lap on this configuration since 1997.
He'd like to change that today.
The Gillette Young Guns. To me, shaving is just like racing. I'll do anything I can to get an advantage, so I use Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette. It's the closest, most comfortable shave, even against the grain. It keeps me ahead of the competition.
What are you doing in my car?
Nothing.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns.
With the unsurpassed horsepower of its 6-liter Power Stroke diesel, Ford Super Duty can pull up to 13,400 pounds. So, exactly how much is that? Well, if you think of it as refrigerators, it would be over 30 of them. How cool is that? Ford Super Duty. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
16 million people will come to WebMD this month. Some will learn about a condition or a diagnosis. Others will chat with experts. Many will simply decide when to visit a doctor. We'll help them all to navigate WebMD's wealth of medically reviewed information to find exactly what they need. Americans may have thousands of different questions about their health, but now they have a single place to find the answers.
Finally, Darrell Waltrip drives the Aaron's Dream Machine, Junior.
Ah, the lady in green. The lawn too tough to tame. The pass in the grass. You still got it, DW.
Get your very own Dream Machine Junior or a street-legal non-decal version at Aaron's guaranteed lowest price. Do the math.
DW, you the man.
3-time champion, mowing my grass.
In 1947, a group of guys wanted to create a sport for the average fan. They failed. The average fan would never show up for a sporting event 5 days before it begins. The average fan would never be brought to tears by just a number. The average fan would never limit his wardrobe to a single color. Thanks for the American sport that's anything but average. Nextel, proud to be fans.
They've always been outgunned.
Damn, how many rounds went off here?
They've always been outnumbered.
You guys so much as twitches. My guy's gonna put one in the back of your skull.
And until now, they've never been outsmarted like this. The Shield, an all-new episode, this week only on FX. The last time you saw them was Game 7 of the ALCS.
That might send the Yankees to the World Series.
The first time you'll see them this year is in a special primetime showdown on Fox. New faces, old blood. Yankees, Red Sox, Friday night, April 16th on Fox.
Jeff Gordon, your leader at Atlanta. Tony Stewart has moved to 4th past Greg Biffle. He started back in 19th. The pole sitter Ryan Newman holding 2nd. Casey Mears 3rd. And Greg Biffle now in 5th. Take you back to our points leader. Matt Kenseth came in here with the 2nd biggest point lead anybody's enjoyed after 3 races, not since Cale Yarborough back in 1977 has anybody had this kind of lead. He has come from 30th to 11th. Makes him the biggest mover of the race, ahead of Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch, Jamie McMurray, and Jeff Burton. Actually, Kenseth now up in 10th position. He's past Dale Jarrett. Now our singular virtual crew chief question. You can vote from your singular wireless phone by sending text message FOX to phone number 191 or visit foxsports.com.
You know, another car that has moved into the top 10 is his teammate Kurt Busch in the 97 car. He's up to 9th, started back in 20th. This is a backup car. Right before practice ended, before qualifying on Friday, they crashed on the backstretch. He had to qualify this car without any practice, but because they presented the car with the engine they were going to race for qualifying, he was able to qualify 20th. Kurt did not know that. He thought they had to go to the rear of the field. He said, if I'd have known that, I'd have tried a little harder, but DW looks like he's got a pretty good race car.
I tell you, Tony Stewart, Jeff better enjoy his lead because I don't think it's going to last long. Tony Stewart is mowing them down right now, and his car is handling on the bottom. Jeff's handling on the top. And speaking of Jeff, what's up, Hammond?
DW, one thing I noticed about Stewart this morning, I went through the garage area. Crew Chief Greg Zipadelli was making some fine-tune adjustments right there at the end of the morning. What they wound up doing was adjusting the camber just a little bit of a caster adjustment. They said they were trying to get the car a little bit better on entry. Said they were pretty good in the final practice. Went back, did some conversation with Tony, worked on it all night long, came up with the right solution, and so far she looks like she's pretty quick.
But DW, we were talking earlier, I think that's something all of these teams have to continue work on is front-end geometry, just like we talked about the steering box on Jamie McMurray's car. Again, camber is the amount of lean to the tire to get the full footprint of the tire on the ground through the corners as well as the straightaways. Caster is a driver feel. You run caster split, more in the right front than the left front, and I think they're having to find what this new tire configuration is looking for.
Yeah, camber makes the tires happy. Caster makes the driver happy.
That's a good way to put it.
You got to work on both of them.
3/4 of the battle's making the driver happy.
Dick Berggren.
Well, last fall, Jeff Gordon won the race using the same car he is driving today. He's been almost completely silent on the radio. All he has said so far is that the car is a little loose, but it's really good off turn 2.
Thanks, Dick. Need to make that driver happy because the tires don't talk back. And we talked about hits and misses. You've seen some of the fellows moving up. Here are some who may have missed the setup. Elliott Sadler, Kevin Harvick, Brian Vickers, the outside pole sitter, Scott Riggs, Bobby Labonte. Steve?
Mike, just listening to Elliott Sadler, he's gone from 5th all the way back to 37th. He says the car is not loose, it's extremely loose, and it feels like it's rolling over on the right front.
And the sad part about it is this thing has that green flag look right now about it.
And when a car's not working, Darrell, it can get way in the way. Watch Elliott Sadler's 38.
Oh, yeah, and watch what happens to it right there. Whoa, go away. Get out from behind me now.
And all this is happening at about 180, 185 miles per hour.
But, Larry, it sounds to me like, and you know this, that if I was in that car and it's rolling over on the right front, I'm going to be screaming for a spring rubber in that right front spring to stand that up a little bit. Maybe that'll help it.
Yeah.
And I did say screaming, because if I'm that loose, I'm definitely squealing right now.
Mr. Newman, Mr. Stewart on line 1. This is for second place.
And Ryan Newman's running about the middle of the racetrack in the 12 car. Tony Stewart, watch here going off into 1 and 2. I'm sure he'll take that thing right to the bottom of the racetrack. He actually was about a lane up behind Ryan Newman, but he's really been hugging the white line down in 3 and 4.
Probably haven't, Larry, when you catch up, I know these guys, we're not hearing arrow push with that smaller rear spoiler, but the car in front of you here, you don't get a lot of draft, but at 180, 90 miles an hour, it is going to affect your car some. So he has to find the place where he can set him up and pass him.
That time, Tony Stewart in the 20 and 3 and 4, he was right around the bottom. Ryan Newman running about the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, yesterday, the high line in 1 and 2 was good, and the low line in 3 and 4 was good. And so you kind of play with that to see what works.
And also running up there on the high side, it keeps the RPMs up. It keeps the motor running nice and free. But right here, I think he may get a run right here in the middle of 3 and 4. You almost got to get that fender to that quarter panel right there coming off turn 4.
Yeah, you got it clearing because you need the whole racetrack when you come off the bottom right there to go all the way out to the wall. And if there's somebody there, you just about got to squeeze up and let him go. So you really, momentum's what you're looking for now. Tony's trying to get enough momentum up to get a slide job, put a slide job on Ryan.
And he got behind the lap car of Kirk Shelmerdern in the 72, and look at the ground he loses going down the backstretch.
Another good reason to run high.
Out of the race, Joe Ruttman and Todd Bodine. Andy Hillenberg, whose car stalled on the pace lap, will enter the race. This time by Jeff Gordon, your leader.
If you want to tame your turf, you can. If you want to score great seats for the game or cook up some great memories, you can. The Home Depot makes it easy. Right now, pay nothing until March 2005 on select purchases with your Home Depot consumer credit card. That goes for pressure washers and patio furniture to mowers and more. If you want to enjoy it all now, but pay for it later, you can. The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
Ben Stiller
Nick
and Jack Black are about to discover
you spray it on dog poo and the poo disappears.
That money can't buy happiness.
That's right!
But it can buy
So much.
everything else.
I've been liposucked.
Envy from director Barry Levinson.
I don't care how much money we make, don't buy one of these.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, April 2nd, everywhere.
I decided to make some serious changes. And now Chicken McNuggets are made with white meat. If they can change for the better, so can I.
Hey, Fish Stick, your SUV's pretty tough, right? Not when friction takes over, pal. Friction and heat cause stress and wear, which over time can make that little dinghy seem a lot heavier. Nice shooting, Tex. You need Quaker State 4x4 and SUV synthetic blend. It's proven to reduce friction and deliver superior performance under high stress and heat. One word, pal. Carpool. Quaker State. The power to reduce friction. Don't make me send you the lab results.
Honey, how about some nice fresh lemonade?
The 500 horsepower Dodge Ram SRT-10.
Hi, Ryan.
Hey. The fastest production truck in the world.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox is presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns. And brought to you by the Home Depot, NASCAR's home improvement warehouse. By Coca-Cola, let's make it real. And by Dodge, you can take life as it comes or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. "34 laps complete. Jeff Gordon, your leader, second place. Tony Stewart working his way underneath Ryan Newman. And two ex-open wheelers duking it out for second here. Stewart prevails. Watch Craig Biffle against two really good cars, Rusty Wallace and Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, Rusty kind of slid up in front of Jimmy there, and when he did, he probably messed them both up, and Biffle was wide open.
Took full advantage of the situation.
Gordon, our leader. You see Greg Biffle there in fifth, and now he's going to have a time holding off his Roush Ford stablemate, the Nextel Cup point leader, Matt Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth in this 17 car. He's been getting about a car a lap here for the last few laps. He's on his teammate right now, Greg Biffle, in the 16 car. Kenseth right now in sixth. Biffle in the 16 in fifth. Matt Kenseth's car looking a lot like Tony Stewart's car, the 20, right around the bottom of the racetrack. He got trapped behind the lap car of Andy Hillenberg that just came out a few laps ago.
You know, to show you how fast these cars are, particularly when you're up front, and what these guys like to talk about is clean air. That's Jeff Gordon, and he just put a lap on Ricky Rudd, who is running back in the 34th position. So the Cats, they're getting around here in a hurry and catching up with the rear of the field.
From Rudd's Ford Racing onboard camera, that's Jeff Gordon disappearing in the distance. 8th place, Jimmy Johnson, and the man who's been runner-up the last 2 weeks, Casey Kane, in that number 9 Dodge. Now, the fellow who used to drive that car, Bill Elliott, first race he has not been in Atlanta in a quarter century. He's running a limited schedule. He's here. He has been Casey Kane's driver coach, but not in the race today at his hometown track.
This was just one of those races where it just seemed different without Bill Elliott being introduced at driver introduction. You know, Daytona was one of them, the Daytona 500. I think here is another one. It just seemed different without his name being called out.
I know where he is.
I do too.
I found him.
He's next door in the PRN radio.
I asked him if he was trying to work his way up here, and he said, "Oh no, I don't. That's not for me." But I see he's right next door.
Kurt Busch in the 97 car, he's pulling right up behind Casey Kane in the 9, Jimmy Johnson in the 48. A lot like his teammate Matt Kenseth, he's running right around the bottom of the racetrack. Like all the Roush cars are working good on the bottom, and he can put his foot in it and he can just stay in it. So he goes by Dale Earnhardt Jr. right now. That was a battle for 10th.
Now right behind them is Jamie McMurray in 12th place. Half a dozen Dodges in the top dozen of this race at 40 laps. Matt?
McMurray on the move, started the day in 22nd. Jamie will tell you that he and crew chief Donnie Wingo have great chemistry. Jamie will start a sentence, Donnie will finish it. He said, though, you tend to raise your expectation when you run well. 2 straight top 5s, but they've struggled all weekend. He sat down last night, took out a sheet of paper, made a list of 11 things, including that steering box that Larry Mack talked about, and said, this is what we need to do to fix our race car. This morning they compared their sheets, almost identical except for that steering box. Jamie said if we don't run well, it's not going to be because of the steering box. Even if it is, I'm not going to give Donnie that we should have fixed that. Right now the car a little free from the center off, but he is on the move, Jeannie.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier about Kurt Busch making the engine change this weekend. There was a scare for the 25 of Brian Vickers on Saturday. An oil shower caused by a broken drive shaft right at the end of the early morning practice session. It punctured the oil tank. The good news was the engine was okay, so they left it alone because he wanted to start second. NASCAR gave him a little extra time to work on the car on Saturday and again this morning, but they can't wait for a break to work on the car again, complaining that the car is still very, very, very loose as we watch him drop down the speed charts. Dick?
Kevin Harvick had a great start to his Cup career here. In March of 2001, he won his first ever start, then finished 3rd that November. But today, he's having a tough day. He started in 8th position. He is on pit road right now. The problem with the car, tight, very tight. They've got to fix it so he can drive it.
Let's explain the timing of this pit stop, Darrell, why he would stop right now.
Well, based on what I saw yesterday in the truck race, plus he just went a lap down, so he might as well come to pit road, get some tires, and hopefully make that back up. But what I saw in the truck race yesterday, at about 50, 55 laps, the right rears were gone. And so he probably is not too far away from making his normal pit stop, but the timing was right. He got lapped, come to the pits.
Yeah, I think these teams are about 10 or 12 laps away from that green flag stop. Now, what Kevin Harvick and that group really needs is to make this full cycle of green flag stops and not get trapped by a caution.
The man who just turned the fastest lap of the race thus far, Casey at the bat. The 23-year-old phenom who's been his second 2 weeks in a row, Casey Kane. 44 laps complete in the Golden Corral 500 presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo.
What's the difference between here and here? According to my national wireless plan, here there's no charge for roaming. But here, I get slammed. Nothing. Big bill. If you can't see the line, how are you supposed to know when you crossed it?
With the Singular Nation plan, you never pay roaming or long distance, wherever you use your phone, however you use it. Plus, you get rollover and 5,000 nationwide mobile-to-mobile minutes.
I call it my I know exactly what I get plan.
Singular Nation, another reason Singular fits you best.
Every coach knows the ability to stay in a game is what counts.
So if you want to stay in the game, don't let anything hold you back. Take action to stay in the game. Ask about Levitra.
Ask your doctor if a free trial is right for you. Levitra, stay in the game.
Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Levitra. Levitra works for me. See if it'll work for you.
Holy.
Bill Tandetsky races with Craftsman tools. Why? Because out here, you need every advantage you can get. And because Craftsman tools are so tough, they're the tools the pros use. You see, Bill may never have taken a checkered flag at Indianapolis or a victory lap at Darlington, but he likes knowing his tools have. Craftsman has the right tool for every project. The official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman at Sears.
Now at TGI Fridays, 2 eat for $19.99. Enjoy an appetizer and 2 entrees from Friday's special menu. Hurry in for 2 eat for $19.99. Now at TGI Fridays.
Why do I pick Enterprise? Because of Maylene, who answers the phone, Alex, who picks me up, and Michelle, who makes renting easy. So all I have to do is drive.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Homer's busted for a crime you won't believe.
Maybe this will cheer you up. Why, you little...
The Simpsons, all new at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox.
Live from Darlington, Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth duel at the track too tough to tame. Nextel Cup Racing, next Sunday on Fox.
Fox welcomes you back to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and this is a Visa race break, and Tony Stewart moving up to second in points, making his move here. Jeff Hammond working the inside of the track.
He has definitely been running that low line and making it work. He's putting a lot of guys down a lap and working his way up through traffic. He's really looking strong.
Moved up from 6th to 2nd in points after the Las Vegas race. Here holding off Ryan Newman. And moments ago, after Jeff Gordon had the lead, then Tony Stewart took the lead from Jeff Gordon, passing him on lap 46. And at the moment, Tony Stewart leading Jeff Gordon on lap 51.
And the thing is right now, Chris, you notice he's down on that white line while the 24 car is up on the high side.
A couple of other things worth pointing out. Casey Kane, who started 12th, the rookie, all the way up to 4th. And Matt Kenseth, who qualified 30th, up and back between the 8 and 6 spot, currently sliding at 10.
Chris, one of the things right now that's real interesting, teammates right here, Bobby Labonte on the high side. You see leader Tony Stewart right now getting ready to put him down a lap. Undoubtedly, they do not have the same setup under both these cars.
And, of course, both Joe Gibbs cars and Bobby Labonte, 6-time winner here, no driver active, has one more. This has been a Visa race break. Let's check in with Steve Burns for more on Bobby Labonte. Steve?
Well, Chris, Bobby Labonte, as much success as he's had at this racetrack, says, I just can't get comfortable. I'm tight in the middle, and I'm loose on the exit of the corners. We go upstairs to Mike Joy.
Thanks, Steve. And that is a huge surprise that Labonte, who has won here 5 times since this track was reconfigured, should go a lap down this early.
He hadn't gone a lap down yet, and it hadn't been, I mean, Tony's right there all over him, and he might get him right here, looks like, but Bobby has put up a valiant effort to keep him from getting by, and as you see, he's fighting right back out on the outside.
Brian Vickers in the 25 car, he comes to pit road, gets his 4 tires. Again, these guys, as they go a lap down, what they're doing, they're going ahead and make their pit stop. As we see Casey Kane in the 9 car was running in 4th position. He comes to get his 4 tires.
What we're seeing on the left of the screen is, I think, the first indication we've seen this season of true team racing. Tony Stewart's the fastest car on the racetrack. He doesn't want to put his teammate a lap down if he can help it. Matt is in Casey Kane's pit.
Casey Kane hits pit road from the 4th position. He said early in that run, the back of the car was not working enough into the racetrack, and the front was not good either. But as the run progressed, the car came back to him. One of the fastest, if not the fastest car at the end. No changes, a tick slow on the left front.
But you know, the thing about it, watching Tony Stewart in the 20 and Bobby Labonte in the 18, I'm sure they're fixing to make their pit stops. There's no reason for Tony Stewart to push the envelope right here. He has a 2.5-second lead. And remember, if he's in front of his teammate when the caution comes out, the field's frozen. Bobby's not back on the lead lap, but he would get the free pass since he's the first car lap down behind the leader.
Second place car on pit road, Jeff Gordon.
Ryan Newman as well in the 12 car.
I'm right in a box here, but 4 tires.
Dick Berggren.
Well, Jeff had just come on the radio a couple of laps ago, Mike, and said
Dick, the point leader, has spun coming onto pit road. This is huge.
Yeah, he was past the commit cone as well, so he's got all kinds of penalties. Spinning on pit road, past the commit cone, all kinds of problems, DW. And all this is happening under green.
Yeah, I think what happened is when Gordon and some of the other front runners started to come to pit road, they must have hollered at him a little late because he was coming off of turn 4 way too fast to make it on the pit road.
A rare mistake for the defending Cup champion, and the official will signal that. They have new pit road signals for the officials, similar to used by the NFL, and that is being signaled.
Something's wrong with the brakes. The front's one stop and locked up a little bit, and then the rear's just locked up. Just one stop. Something's wrong with them. I even put it in there.
Well, there's the answer from Matt Kenseth as to what happened, and he took the cones with him. The penalty will be a drive-through at pit road speed for Matt Kenseth.
Which very well will put him a lap down under green. As you see Tony Stewart in a 20 car, he's coming to pit road. Jeannie.
Well, Jimmy Johnson out on the track complaining the car was loose, but it was getting better. There was a promise when they came in for the pit stop to get rid of some tape to take care of business. Also took care of the track bar and 4 tires. Steve?
Jeannie, Tony Stewart told Greg Zipadelli, his crew chief, give me just a little bit forward bite, but don't mess me up anywhere else. The car is good. 4 tires. Matt.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s crew waiting for the Bud car to hit their pit stall. Jr. says the car is way too free on exit as the 17 works his way down pit road, doing his pass through. You can see the wedge wrench going in the back window. Troy Prince makes that adjustment. He said, I need you to work on the thing that's worst on my race car, and that's the free on exit. A little bit of trouble on that left rear. Junior down and away.
Let's go back to Matt Kenseth's spin, Darrell, entering the pits, and what he said about why it happened. Robbie Gordon has taken over the lead here.
Well, you've been running under green, and your brakes are cold. And so when you come down here for the first time, and the brakes are cold, you haven't been using them at all, and you get on them a little hard, you see you're going too fast. He's way out of line there. You see smoke. He's locking up the brakes, but he gets really hard on the brakes, and that locks up the rear tires and spins him out.
What about the transition right there from the track to pit road? Does the car drop off and lose weight on the back?
Yeah, that's always a problem on any racetrack, and particularly if you're overcooking the entrance.
So Kenseth spins around. Officially, he is charged with a violation of the commitment line and not driving between the cones. So now Robbie Gordon surrenders the lead to make his pit stop in the singular Chevy.
And right now, Matt Kenseth is a lap down to the leader. So what his goal now will be to become the first car lap down where we get a caution, he can get the pardon, the free pass.
Yeah, he's got a good enough car that he'll be able to do that, I believe. And this is a penalty and a problem I think that team can overcome before the day is over with.
So Tony Stewart becomes the big leader in green flag pit stops. He now enjoys a 1.3-second advantage over Jeff Gordon. Dick Berggren.
Look at Matt Kenseth's left front tire, Mike. You got something like this, it's pretty tough to hang on to it. Right down to the cords.
And you know, I tend to believe maybe some of that might have happened as he was sliding those brakes, DW, coming on the pit road.
Yeah, I think that white all the way around there, that's the cords of the tire, and that's not a good thing.
So we've had one round of green flag pit stops, 61 laps complete in the Golden Corral 500 presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo.
Do you have the right truck? The best-selling half-ton regular and extended cab is now available as a crew cab. Introducing the new Silverado half-ton crew. It's the right truck from Chevy.
I like a big number, but I love a big sale.
Get on track. For the big sale at Radio Shack. Savings galore now in store. Incredible deals too big to ignore.
Now at Radio Shack, get free phones for the entire family. Get this Motorola C343 phone for free and up to 4 more free phones with 2-year agreement per phone. Plus, free in-network calling to any Verizon Wireless customer from the national in-network coverage area.
Radio Shack.
Could we stop now?
Soon. Be patient.
Hey, how about now? Hey, let's stop now.
No! I want this to be special. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
So smooth.
Right?
Let's do it again.
At Napa Auto Parts, we have great brakes and millions of other quality parts. Napa, get the good stuff.
So this is the living room, plasma TV,
The awesome sound system!
toast, the hot tub, the grill. Oh yeah, did I mention the driveway?
Check out Visa.com to learn how you and 3 friends could win the ultimate NASCAR experience. Stay in a luxury RV, get a hot lap with Rusty Wallace or Kurt Busch, and possibly win a prize bonus. Visa, proud sponsor of NASCAR. It's everywhere you want to be.
.100% pure official products, and thousands of them. Get exclusive products and content through AOL and the Superstore at NASCAR.com.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, is brought to you by Budweiser. It's time for a fresh one. Grab a Budweiser. The race is on. 68 laps, just past 100 miles, and Tony Stewart's lead over Jeff Gordon has climbed to 3.5 seconds.
He's gained about 2 seconds, or put about 2 more seconds on Jeff Gordon in the 24 in about 4 or 5 laps.
Well, there's no question. If your car will hook the bottom like his is, that's the shortest way around. You're going to make up a lot of time, but he seems to be the only one that can consistently hang the left wheels on that white line.
Casey Kane remains 1 second behind Gordon. Greg Biffle another 2 seconds back with Ryan Newman. Casey Mears 11 seconds off the lead. Then Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Rusty Wallace, Jeremy Mayfield, the top 10. Ward Burton has been fighting the flu all week, and now
trying to get a run at you now. 1 away.
he may be fighting a left front tire rub.
Yeah, it's a little bit bumpy. You can see those dark spots in the racetrack. Those are little bumps in the racetrack, little dips in the racetrack. When that car goes through there, it has such a soft left front spring, and you got so much rebound pulling down on the body of that car to hold the nose down, it's sucking the tire up in the fender.
And as we see, it's not rubbing now. That was right after a pit stop when they have the air pressures down, and that's when it's more prone to rub. It's before the air pressures gain.
Now, Robbie, I'm sorry, Mike. It's annoying. I mean, it rubs and it kind of wants to jerk the wheel out of your hand, but you hang on to her and it'll come over. It'll come around. At least that's what Hammond always said. Just hang on to it, it'll come around.
Stewart, the leader. Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, Greg Biffle, and Ryan Newman, who started this race from the pole. His 20th career pole is 5th. Matt?
Newman's car was good early on, but then he developed a loose condition, and then it went loose and tight. So his team, led by Matt Borland, they made an air pressure adjustment on the left side tires to help the tightness in the center of the corner, and they made a wedge adjustment on their stop back on lap 57 to help the loose on exit. 3 times he's won from the pole. Today, they needed a little more work to go for number 4.
You know, guys, we talked in the opening about hit and miss and not having many opportunities to adjust on your race car, especially if it's way off. I mean, Tony Stewart in the 20, he just put Michael Waltrip in the 15 and Jeff Green in the 43 a lap down. That was the 19th and 20th place cars. He's already, in less than 75 laps, put half this field a lap down. no opportunities to catch up or make your cars better.
We've been caution-free through the first 73 laps. Now, Dick Berger and Jeff Gordon continues to lose ground to the race leader, Tony Stewart, but
he has a firm hold on second for the moment.
Yeah, he does indeed, Mike, but he has twice called on the radio and said that his race car is loose. And I did look at the 4 tires that came off his car after the pit stop. And the right rear on that car was almost down to the cords. There were a couple of places around the tire where I could just see if he didn't have much more, he could have run on that right rear tire.
thanks, Dick. Jeff Gordon's about to get busy because Kasey Kahne is coming. Can you believe, Darrell, what this young fella has done in a Nextel Cup career and Winston Cup last year career that includes only a handful of career starts?
No, and this could be a really big day for him. He could run second to somebody besides Matt Kenseth.
I still think he needs to meet Harry Gant if he's tired of second place.
Nothing wrong with second right now. Just keep doing it.
But what Ray Evernham has been telling people, this kid reminds him of another kid that he hooked up with about 12 years ago. And in fact, that kid right now is running second, Jeff Gordon, in the 24 car.
Don't forget Dave Blaney back there in 14th position for Bill Davis in an unsponsored Dodge, battling Mark Martin for 14th. Our apologies to Mark after a fine finish last week. We had hoped to interview all the top 5, but had to leave the air before we were able to get to him. So sorry, Mark. Great run, and looks like he's picking up right where he left off last week in Las Vegas.
You know, we keep talking about this aero package that we have this year, the smaller rear blade, and what's it going to do to the cars. I just saw Tony Stewart get up under Joe Nemechek. I think Joe would probably wish he had that 3/4 of an inch back on that rear spoiler, because Tony got right up under the back of him. And watch this. He goes down into turn 3, puts the nose right up under the back of Joe. Now watch back. Look at Joe's car. Just the back end comes around, up the hill he goes.
And all you're doing is hanging on.
For dear life. And he's saying, call Tony and tell him I'll get out of the way next time. Don't do that anymore.
Kasey Kahne trying so hard to catch Jeff Gordon, and I believe he brushed the wall last time out of turn 4.
Yeah, I mean, I know next week we're going to the racetrack that will reach out and grab you, but I think what happens, you think you're in a rhythm here, Darrell, and your car's feeling good, and all of a sudden it just kind of jumps sideways on you on the exit of the corner. You talked about your hot spot in turn 2. It can actually happen in turn 4 too.
Yeah, turn 4, you got a lot of speed through turns 3 and 4 because you're running out into the turn opens up for you, and you really come off a turn high or low, whichever way, and you just run out there and run out of racetrack.
Let's see if Kasey Kahne did get a piece of the concrete here.
Ah, that's perfect. That was perfect. He just narrowed that thing up a little bit. It'll be faster yet.
He just put the Darlington stripe on it a week early.
Jeff Gordon and Kasey Kahne second and third to Tony Stewart, who is 5 seconds ahead of them. Craig Biffle 2.5 seconds back of this duo, then Ryan Newman and Casey Mears. 79 laps complete in the Golden Corral 500.
Donnie Allison in car number 88 had the fastest qualifying speed of 150.689 miles per hour and starts his Dyguard Chevy on the pole. 21, David Pearson is alongside. In the second row, it's car 12, Bobby Allison, and 71, Buddy Baker.
Right after Laugh Out Loud Sunday on Fox 10 News at 9. Tired of your treadmill? Barbells got you bummed? Now new technology might help make fitness fun again.
This motivates you to stay on a proper exercise regime.
Can these new high-tech gadgets put the wow back in your old workout? Tonight on Fox 10 News at 9. Just you watch the best.
Right now, there's $350 billion in tax cuts out there. It's like this big, freshly baked pie. And our job at H&R Block is to get you the biggest slice possible. So I dig in to find you every tax break you're entitled to. There's a bigger child tax credit, a larger deduction for married couples, lots of new stuff. The only question is, how big a slice do you want?
Get the maximum refund or it's free. Another advantage of H&R Block.
Why is Ford the official truck of Best in the Desert Racing? Why do we race our trucks over such brutal terrain? Why do we push harder and faster every day? Why? It makes every Ranger we sell tougher, stronger, and able to handle whatever you might throw at it. Ford Ranger, designed for the desert and available with 0% financing for 60 months or $3,000 cash back from your Arizona Ford dealers. Want one more reason we race? Racing's fun.
I'm Ron Huna. For a new job, we'll give you the best answers to the most commonly asked interview questions at 7:20. And at 8:10, two Arizonans talk about going on Judge Judy on the next Fox 10 Arizona Morning.
You're watching Fox 10. Just you watch the best.
Fox Monday. That 70 shows on a special night and asks, who's the fairest of them all?
When I look in the mirror, I'm happy.
I'm happy too, but when you talk,
Then, Cracking Up moves to its regular night and time with a special guest star you'll have to see to believe.
Oh my God! He's coming here!
And if that's not shocking enough, wait till you meet the new player in Eden. He'll decide who stays and who goes.
Everybody better watch out.
Forever Eden. Viewer discretion advised. It all starts at 8/7 Central Fox Monday.
Welcome back. NASCAR on Fox from Atlanta. Tony Stewart, 5.3 seconds up on Casey Kane. As here's the pass for second place. Casey Kane underneath Jeff Gordon. Greg Biffle is fourth, Ryan Newman fifth, Casey Mears, Kurt Busch, Rusty Wallace, Jimmy Johnson, and Jamie McMurray. Here are the Dodge front runners at 85 laps, led by Casey Kane in second and pole sitter Ryan Newman. Matt?
Last year when Casey Kane started driving Busch full time, he went to another open wheel star for advice, Tony Stewart. But during the offseason, he went to his teammate, Bill Elliott, for advice. Elliott gave him the best advice of all. He said, you are a very talented young man. Even though you are very talented, there are a number of drivers who are just as talented. To be successful at this level, you must be committed. So Casey started watching past Nextel Cup races. He works out 4 to 5 days a week, even has gone on a great nutritional plan. He's done everything Ray Evernham has asked, and I guess it kind of falls in that old line from Roger Penske. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and he is preparing himself for success, and they have found it pretty much this year so far. Steve?
Well, Matt, Greg Biffle having a fine run, listed in 4th position. He only has 2 Cup starts here. His best finish of 13th, and he's in a brand new race car that has never been tested. But, again, they are having a good run. He's been talking to crew chief Doug Richard about different changes to make. When they stop next, they'll take a ½ pound out of both left side tires. Dick Berggren.
Jeff Gordon is running in 3rd spot, but he has dropped well back, 7 or so seconds behind, and he has said on the radio on lap 82, we've got to get the car off the right rear. On lap 84, he wanted to know what the tires looked like. He said the thing is bad already. On lap 85, he said, I've got to take care of the right rear. I know I'm killing it. Jeannie?
Well, Dick, after 70 weeks in the top 10 in points, Jimmy Johnson fell out of favor with a crash at Rockingham. And you think they're not feeling the pressure on the 48 team, and it's not all about the chase for the championship. The point standings determines garage location, the best spots reserved for the best. Kind of a daily reminder at the track just how good you are. Imagine if you're a salesperson and you go to the office every day and the staff rotates based on your performance. So here it is, the threat of maybe having to share a garage or work in a smaller space. Self-esteem definitely on the line. That'll push you a little harder come Sunday. Chad Knaus telling his crew, hey, nobody try to be a superstar today. Just do your job. Pay attention to detail. We'll get it back.
Thanks, Jeannie. Jimmy Johnson's about to have company.
Yes, he is. Rusty Wallace in that 2 car. I've been watching him. He started back in 11th position. He's back there in 8th. I really paid close attention to his green flag pit stop a while ago. They have made changes on that pit crew after every race, but this week they brought his crew chief back from last year, not to be crew chief. Larry Carter's still the crew chief, but Bill Wilburn, who's been over helping Brendan Gaughan, he's back changing tires. They made up ground on that green flag stop.
Wilbur's about as good as they get on the right front. I mean, he does a whale of a job, and you know, that's what he did before he was crew chief. So he's right back in a customary position.
Now this race for 7th, 8th, and 9th, just ahead of them, Casey Mears in the NASCAR top 10 for the first time in his brief Cup career.
He's having a nice little run. I mean, that team has really stepped it up from last year.
Now, Matt Kenseth, we had spinning onto pit road during green flag pit stops, and he finds himself 1 lap down plus a long way around the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching his lap times. His lap times are better than Tony Stewart's. I mean, that last lap, he was a half a second quicker than Tony Stewart. But right now, he's still a lap down after spinning on pit road, having to do the drive-through penalty. Right now, he's in 22nd. The first car a lap down is 17th. So what he wants to do, he needs to get up 6 positions to be the first car a lap down where he can get the free pass should we get a caution. He needs a caution, but he needs to get to that position before he gets the caution.
Yeah, and he's getting it in a hurry, too, because he's closing right up on the back of Ryan Newman and several other cars that he's going to make a pass on here pretty quick.
And we're not that far away from some more green flag pit stops.
Stewart flashes by with a 4.2-second lead on Casey Kane. 6.5 seconds on Jeff Gordon. 7.5 on Greg Biffle. Top of your screen, number of laps until the next scheduled pit stop should we stay under green. Earnhardt Jr. flashes past in 13th. Came into last week's race as the point leader. Had enough trouble to keep him in and out of the garage all day, but in truth only ended up 1 position worse than if they just made short pit stops and continued to work on the car throughout the day. Matt?
Back on lap 57, Junior's team worked both on that loose exit condition and the tight. They have really mastered that loose on exit, the car to Junior's liking. He says, now I really don't want to make it too much more free. It's almost perfect. The problem, there's a lot of distance between Junior's 8 and Tony Stewart's 20.
And I tell you, that 8-car Dale Earnhardt Jr., they had a very eventful week, but the problem is Dale Earnhardt Jr. is only about 7 to 8 seconds from being lapped. Tony Stewart, the 20-car, he is the leader as he just goes by Ricky Rudd again. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that group, not only did they try to go to Kentucky to figure out what their woes were at Las Vegas, they went to Bristol and tested for 2 days, had a great test. The biggest thing that came out of there, confidence back in him and that race team.
Jeff Burton has just gone 1 lap down to Tony Stewart, and that leaves us 15 cars on the lead lap as we close in on 150 miles in Atlanta.
Now what?
Right at Beefmaster. Now, left at Captain Rerun. At this point. Okay, left at my girlfriend's. Focus, focus. All right, left at Hanging with Stewart. Now, look for Gordon's biggest fan. Hey, did you bring the scanners? Back down the stairs.
Walkie-talkies get it done.
Right
Next time.
Girlfriends.
Ah, the feeling of asking your doctor about Viagra.
I know we had something special before, but this has got more flavor. You can't say you didn't see this coming.
Since the very beginning, Yamaha Home Makeover has been beautifying houses, inspiring homeowners, and bringing families closer together. And now we're celebrating with our best offer of the year. 3.9% APR for 24 months on every Yamaha motorcycle and ATV, plus up to $200 cash back. Yamaha Home Makeover, tearing down walls, improving lives.
It's NCAA March Madness.
And Papa John's is part of the action.
Tell us about it, Papa John.
First, get any large specialty pizza for a winning price.
And what about the ball?
Yes, get a limited edition Final Four basketball and a Coke for just $5.99.
Get a limited edition basketball and any 2-liter of Coca-Cola for just $5.99 when you buy any large Papa John's specialty pizza for just $10.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Call now and have a ball.
People love that ball.
To every crew member living on 3 hours sleep, we pledge to trim 100th of a second off the next lap. To our fans who drive all night to cheer us to victory, we pledge to go 3 wide into the turn without fear. To every kid whose favorite number is 48, we pledge to trade paint with the best of them. We are Lowe's, and this is our pledge. Proud sponsor of Team 48 and everyone who plans to finish strong on Sunday.
King of the Hill is live and on the air.
Nurse Barrow turns 40 today. That's still younger than the meatloaf in the cafeteria.
An all-new King of the Hill. And from the people who brought you the pop-up phone and the Turbo Dicer comes Dispose-A-Brush.
Gagging is normal.
Watch all-new Oliver Bean. It all starts at 7 tonight on Fox.
Tony Stewart with a 3.4-second lead. He leads the list of the Koch family of drivers in this race. 15 cars on the lead lap. We've been caution-free through 150 miles. Now Elliott Sadler has made a second pit stop, bolted on 4 new tires, and he rockets past Stewart.
Here you see right there about 14 more laps. Tony Stewart, our leader in the 20 car there, it went to 13 laps, and this is when these guys will really start interrogating their drivers again. The crew chief said, okay, now, were you better that run? Were you the same? Was it worse? I'm sure if it was worse, the drivers already let them know that.
He would. A lot of that's going on already. Let's pick up the 7th place battle where Rusty Wallace and Jimmy Johnson continue to go at it. Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus have been noodling out what they'd like to do and what everybody else is doing.
Jeff's just running right up against the fence at both ends. The 20 car, he's been glued to the bottom all day.
Not one of the fastest cars out there. The 9 and the 20 are.
20's been on the bottom. 9, he's been up top most of the day.
You did that last lap. That was a 31.67. That was a good lap.
And what that is, that's Chad Knaus going over the times that Jimmy's running versus these guys. But that was his spotter, Chris Osborne, because that's just another role the spotter plays. He's on top of this roof. He can see all the different lines these other cars are running.
And I always tell the spotter, listen, tell me things I can't see. Don't tell me things I can see. I'll figure that out on my own. Tell me things I need to know that will help me.
Digging, buddy. Just keep digging. I need to get everything you can here.
And what they're talking about there, they're just a few. That was Jimmy Johnson, the 48, and here we see Greg Biffle in the 16 coming to pit road. He's telling him we're close to another pit stop. Get me as much as you can till that pit stop.
Now Biffle is the first of the leaders. He gives up 5th place to pit, Steve.
And Mike, he just told crew chief Doug Richard that they're a little bit too tight. So they're going to go ahead and change those 4 tires and make an air pressure adjustment. That's the only adjustment to the 16 car, just a little bit too tight. 14.7 seconds.
So important on these green flag stops. It's important under caution, but you just cannot have any mistakes like Matt Kenseth made on that first green flag stop.
But what Matt was trying to do was, you know how we always talk about ins and outs. He's trying to maximize that speed to the end of pit road. That you can save a lot of time right there if you can get on there nice and fast.
Darrell, let's back to that race for 7th. Jimmy Johnson, Rusty Wallace, and with them are some lap cars like Derek Cope who are very fast on new tires. What's it like when suddenly you're racing cars that are fast, like there goes Scott Riggs, that you haven't been racing all day?
Well, you start hollering at the crew chief. You know, how much longer I got to stay out here? You know, I'm getting run over. These guys are going around me on the left, going around me on the right. I don't need to be racing these guys. When am I going to pit?
Jeannie?
Well, that sounds like a similar conversation was just on the radio, the 48. Chad Knaus saying, come on, just get into the pit because these guys are killing us out here. Just minutes ago when we saw Rusty Wallace go right by the 48 car, Jimmy was saying, look, I'm having problems arcing it into turn 3. I just cannot get it to turn into turn 3. Matt?
Kasey Kahne has cut Tony Stewart's lead now at only 2.9 seconds. Kasey says the car is loose in the center, but it continues to get better. He started the day out on the bottom, and then you heard Chris Osborne, Jimmy Johnson's spotter, say that he had climbed to the high side. To Steve.
Well, Matt, 8 laps ago, crew chief Greg Zipadelli told his driver Tony Stewart in that 20 car, you just ran your fastest lap of the day. Tony replied by saying it's just a little bit tight right now, but it did the same exact thing at the same exact point in our last tire run.
2 ex-open wheelers have just set their own personal fastest lap of the race just now. Kasey Kahne, Dave Blaney.
But I tell you, going back to Casey Kane in the 9 car, we're looking at him right now, the second place car. Darrell, I don't know if I was Tommy Bowen, if I'd do many adjustments to that race car, because what's happening, it's a little loose near the end of a run as it burns the fuel load off, gains that front percentage, it tightens up. If they try to tighten that thing up for the early part of a run, then they may have it too tight for late in the run.
Yeah, I agree, Larry. And I'm interested to see how that all works out as far as Casey's communication with Tommy down there. We got the pole sitter on pit road.
Ryan Newman's in. Jimmy Johnson's in as well. Let's go to Newman's pit.
Another wedge adjuster for pole sitter Ryan Newman as the guys on the left side. To Jeannie.
Well, Jimmy Johnson finally coming in for this pit stop, Chad, making him stand a little bit longer than he might have liked. The car a bit tight. Of course, he's getting 4 tires, and the air pressure adjustment hoping to loosen this car up.
But you know, guys, let's just follow up. Mike, you asked a question a while ago about guys out there on fresh tires versus your old tires. That's another role the spotter plays. He has to let you know fresh tires coming about 10 car lengths back where you can anticipate where you need to go to get out of his way.
Michael Waltrip in. He's a lap down to Tony Stewart, and so is more than half of this field. Right now, with green flag pit stops in the midst, 11 cars running on the lead lap.
Boy, Kurt Busch in the 97 car almost did the exact same thing that his teammate Matt Kenseth did coming to pit road. He was sideways, but he didn't spin out.
Kane did it. Here comes no, that's Casey Kane. They're all trying to get on pit road with a lot of speed.
Remember, you're going through the corner about 170 miles per hour. You keep it hung out.
He's hung out way back there.
Steve?
Mike Kurt Busch on pit road. They've been battling a loose and then tight race car all weekend long. They're going to make some pretty big adjustments. They're going to put 1 round of fight in. They're also going to put a spring rubber in the left rear. Matt.
A slight track bar adjustment for Casey Kane, a round and a half. As Jim Pullman goes to work on that left front, Casey said the car was still a little free in the center of the corner. Service complete. 16.6 seconds.
Meanwhile, Tony Stewart leads Jeff Gordon now by almost 8 seconds. But 1 lap ago, got into this with Scott Wimmer.
Just coming off of turn 2 over there, and I tell you, when the tires get worn and it's a little slick over there, you make contact. They got away with it, but you don't always get away with it.
No, because the last thing you want to do is beat a right front fender up on your race car here at this place as fast as the speeds are.
When Tony runs as low as he does, and you got a car on the outside of you down there, it can suck you right into it.
Rusty Wallace, 4th place car to pit road.
Casey Mears, the 41 car as well.
Another lead lap car. Dick?
A terrific day here in this number 41 automobile. This was a planned pit stop. The car just a little bit loose. He's doing a great job today, Mike. He has been running in the top 5 all day long. This is surely one of the best rides that he has had in his entire career, and backing it up from that Las Vegas run last weekend. Steve.
Well, Dick, Tony Stewart saying, just get me a little more rotation in the center. Free me up just in the center. So they're going to make just a small air pressure adjustment. Stewart is on pit road. Todd Foster and Mike Lingerfeld change tires. Dick.
Jeff Gordon also in. He wants the crew to get that car not to run on the right rear tire as much as it had been. He said he could just about hang on to it. He's going to get 4 fresh ones. Steve Burns.
Tony Stewart exits pit road. Dick, they got it full of gas and a good pit stop for Tony Stewart.
Jeff Gordon in, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dave Blaney, Dale Jarrett, Ward Burton. Matt?
And the Bud guys waiting for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to peel off as he does. 2 pits away. Jr. says the car almost perfect. I really don't think we need to make any adjustments, but after further consultation between his car chief cousin, Tony Eury Jr., a wedge adjustment as the point leader, Matt Kenseth, down a lap. A tough day for the 17 guys. He's in as well. Junior's down and away.
You know, if they make Tony Stewart's car any better, he's going to be in his own zip code.
Yes, he is, especially if we keep this green flag look about it. Mark Martin in the 6 car back on pit road. But how about this? Casey Kane, 9. This will be a battle for the lead right here because we've cycled through these green flag stops.
The common denominator between Stewart and Kane is Steve Lewis, who has fielded USAC open wheel cars for Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman. That's the common denominator among those 3 drivers. Casey Kane, of course, ran in midget sprint cars in Silver Crown. He was the 2000 USAC midget champ and 2000 Silver Crown Rookie of the Year. He was in open wheel cars just 4 seasons ago. Spent a couple years in the Busch Series, and now he's the rookie phenom of Nextel Cup.
And right now, even right after putting fresh tires on, we already see these two guys, Tony Stewart in the 20, go to the bottom of the racetrack, Kasey Kahne in the 9. Now, he followed Tony through 3 and 4 that time. The last time through 1 and 2, though, Casey's been running in the high side.
That 9 car looks a little tight, Larry. Looks like he washes up coming out of the turn.
I hope they didn't make adjustments on it. It was pretty good a while ago.
Stewart's crew trying to overhaul Elliott Sadler in the McDonald's Drive-Thru Championship, fueled by Powerade.
What are we racing for anyway? Let's race for a Coke.
Yeah.
Drivers ready, go! Got some horsepower, Bobby. Come on, DJ, get out of the way. Sorry, Kyle. No problem.
White flag lap.
Hey, Kevin, we need you in the pit. Sorry about your little car, Tony.
The Gillette Young Guns.
It's true. We're hard charging, aggressive.
We're not afraid to move people out of the way.
We have some pretty close shaves.
And we always come out looking good.
You know why?
Mark III Turbo Champion, the world's closest, most comfortable shave, even against the grain.
We like going against the grain.
Oh, yeah. Mark III Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns.
Chris Vaughn spent years serving his country.
Did you really kill people?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
No. Now, a man who's seen enough fighting.
I just wanted to relax, catch my breath.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Will fight a new war.
It was close.
Where'd you get the drugs?
From the casino.
I'm not gonna let this stand.
Picked a bad day to do that.
The Rock. Walking Tall, rated PG-13. Start April 2nd.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing Wendy's spinach chicken salad to the party.
Why?
They asked us to bring something.
That's why I brought the cake.
Yeah, but see, this is new. It's got romaine, baby spinach, chicken, and a sweet and sour bacon dressing with just 2.5 grams of fat. Way better than anything he's gonna serve. Hey.
Hi.
These salads are fabulous. You work for Wendy's?
Well, unofficially.
What does that mean?
It's complicated.
Wendy's new spinach chicken salad. It's better here.
Neither cold nor heat, nor wind, nor rain, nor dark of night have kept Matt Kenseth and Ford from their appointed rounds. The reigning NASCAR Drivers' Champion is Matt Kenseth. What else would you expect from the guys who make the official truck of NASCAR?
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, is brought to you by Ford, the official truck of NASCAR. By Lowe's, where you'll find all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, improving home improvement. By Wendy's new spinach chicken salad. It's better here. And by MGM Pictures' Walking Tall, starring The Rock. In theaters April 2nd, rated PG-13. 125 laps complete. Tony Stewart ahead of Kasey Kahne now by 1.2 seconds. And Greg Biffle has climbed to third as caution comes out for debris in turn number 1. The field freezes with 13 cars on the lead lap, and Dave Blaney in the 23, the first car 1 lap down, so
the caps off all the tires.
He will get the pardon and the free pass around. We'll take a minute to explain about this free pass rule. Mike Helton, NASCAR president, clarified it after the confusion last Saturday. The field will get gathered up behind the caution car. The pits will not be opened the first time by. This allows rescue and safety crews to respond quickly if needed, and it means that the drivers don't have to rush to catch up to the pace car. They'll have now a full lap and a half to do that. Pit stops for the lead lap cars, pit stops for the lap down cars, then Blaney gets the free pass to start at the tail end of the longest line.
These people are getting answers to the most important questions they'll ever ask.
questions about their health. They're finding those answers in a single place, WebMD. 16 million people come to WebMD every month. They find vital information that used to be scattered in 100 locations, now all in one place. The place America comes for healthcare answers, a place called WebMD.
Hi there, Pizza Hut. Yes, I'd like to order a pizza with lots
Sausage!
Oh, Kermit! Pepperoni! Cheese! I need pepperoni on mine!
In the pizza fight forever with the amazing new 4-for-all pizza from Pizza Hut. 4 different pizzas topped just the way you like them on a not too thick, not too thin crust. Just $11.99. Gather around the good stuff.
Want something green with your pizza?
Add a family-size Fresh Express Ranch Salad Kit for $2.99 to any pizza purchase.
Introducing the only minivan with 2 rows of fold-in floor seats, the all-new 2005 Grand Caravan.
Come on in, Dad.
I'll finish that in the morning. The lowest priced minivan in America, starting under $19,000.
Every coach knows the ability to stay in a game is what counts. So if you want to stay in a game, don't let anything hold you back. Take action to stay in the game. Ask about Levitra.
Ask your doctor if a free trial is right for you. Levitra, stay in the game.
Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Levitra. Levitra works for me. See if it'll work for you.
Advance Auto Parts. No matter when or where.
There's nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price. We're ready in advance.
Yeah, bring it on.
And back here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, pit stops underway. Tony Stewart just came to pit road. The only change for him, besides 4 tires, a cleaner windshield. One of the tear-offs off the number 20. Otherwise, no changes. Matt?
Steve, a great stop by Casey Kane's crew. A wedge adjustment down 1 round on the left side. The car is good, needs to be better. Still a little too free in the center, but Tommy Baldwin, Dick just wants to nip a little bit at a time, not over-adjust that Dodge.
Jeff Gordon very unhappy with his race car. Just before he came in, he said the car is wicked loose going in. They have pulled a spring rubber out of the right rear. He said before that pit stop, I got nothing. Meanwhile, Casey has got a pinched nerve in his right shoulder and causing it to go to sleep. Car 41, Casey Mears. Jeannie?
Well, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson in a bit of a pickle here, guys. He's still very tight in, but his crew chief saying to him, look, I don't know how to make these adjustments that will not make you so tight in, but that won't make you so loose off. So that's what they've been trying to work out these past 2 stops. Another spring rubber into the left rear, and they put another piece of tape on that lower grille, closed it completely off.
Lap down cars pitting now, and there are a bunch of them. There are going to be 16 cars on the lead lap, plus the 23 of Dave Blaney, who will get the free pass just before we go back to green. We're under the first caution of the day for debris in turn 1.
That caution was a huge break for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Rusty Wallace. They were not that far from going a lap down.
Tony Stewart, Casey Kane, Greg Biffle came off pit road the way they came in. 129 laps in the Golden Corral 500.
Earnhardt Jr. takes over Wallace as we head into the final laps. It's been a great race today, folks, and they're heading...
So how long have you been dating my daughter?
Okay, NASCAR fan, what's your next move?
I mean, I wouldn't call it dating. I'm just playing the field.
Ooh, should have turned Daddy on to Track Pass and exclusive racing content on AOL and NASCAR.com.
Chevy Impala, a responsive performer that never forgets it's a mid-size sedan. Check out Impala now through March 31st and leave your checkbook at home. Qualified lessees can lease an Impala for around $222 a month with zero due at signing. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees are extra. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details. Chevy Impala. Turn the key. Start a revolution. See your Valley Chevy dealer or visit valleychevy.com.
An ancient evil has returned, greater than any the world has ever known.
60 years ago, they tried to destroy the world. They're back.
Now, one secret government agency.
Welcome to the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense.
Has been called upon.
Hellboy.
To stand against them.
There are things that go bump in the night. And we are the ones who bump back.
Are you gonna be okay?
How big can it be?
You should be running.
It's coming for us! Hellboy.
Skip to the end, will you? How do I kill it?
Rated PG-13. Opens April 2nd.
Yo, this is Randy Jackson from American Idol. Fox 10, just you watch the best.
100% pure, official products, and thousands of them. Get exclusive products and content through AOL and the Superstore at NASCAR.com.
The biggest television event of the year has arrived, and history is about to be made.
This is the beginning of the show.
Fox Tuesday. The top 12 American Idol finalists will compete on the big stage for the chance they've always dreamed of.
The competition kicks in tonight.
And from now on, only you control their destiny.
You vote, you decide.
American Idol, the final 12, a 2-hour live event at 8, 7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Welcome back to Atlanta. Tony Stewart in the lead. Pre-race warm-ups. How do some teams do it? We're trying to hit one out of the park.
It's out of here.
Now, where'd that bat end up? Our WebMD safety update with Dick Bergman.
Wausau, Wisconsin's Joe Piat changes rear tires for Ryan Newman. This 15-year veteran knows the value of safety, so when he goes over the wall, he wears a helmet, fire-resistant suit, gloves, knee pads, running shoes. But more important than any of that, physical conditioning. And he works out every week. Joe's in great shape. Joe, drop down. Give me 10. Oh, boy, he is in good shape. Whoa!
14 of these cars are in good shape. They're in the outside lane. They're on the lead lap as we go back to green at lap 133.
22-car Wimmer up there. He spun the tires. He didn't get a very good start there.
And what'll be interesting to see now that they had their first caution. We talk about the comers and the goers, who was able to make major adjustments on their car and see if they can get better. Well, while we're waiting to see if they get better, what do you think?
Let's make a major adjustment on our audio.
Let's crank it up.
Jeff Gordon battles Ryan Newman. This is at 4th place. Matt Kenseth.
Look at that.
Wow.
Kenseth come off at 2 over there. I mean, he went right under Casey, and I thought he was going to get Jamie, but didn't quite make it, but he got him now. And I tell you, he is on a mission. He's going to redeem himself.
After his miscue entering the pits at lap 56, Kenseth dropped to 35th. He's been able to scramble back up to 17th, a lap down. And up front, Tony Stewart. Casey Kane, Greg Biffle, and Ryan Newman just got past Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, and right now the two cars that Matt Kenseth are racing is Robbie Gordon in the 31 car, Sterling Marlin in the 40. That's the two cars that's in front of him. In particular, Robbie Gordon, who should the caution come out, he would get the free pass. I think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, this is one of those times when you know there's a good chance there can be a caution. The cars are bunched up. Even if they don't have a wreck, they might run into each other and knock some debris off.
I definitely think they have made huge improvements on that 31 car of Robbie Gordon. Remember, his crew chief, Kevin Hamlin, was the crew chief for Kevin Harvick when he won that race. That was a photo finish back in 2001, Kevin Harvick's first career win.
Well, it was a real timely caution. A lot of these cars were way, way off, and they gave him a chance to adjust.
Robbie's not a factor.
We'll see some cars that are probably going to run a lot better now after they got a chance to work on them.
Now the lead lap cars, after 2 rounds of green flag stops and this caution flag stop, are Stewart, Casey Kane, Greg Biffle. You're watching that second place battle from our Quaker State aerial coverage. Then Ryan Newman, Jeff Gordon, Jamie McMurray, Casey Mears, Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Mayfield, Earnhardt Jr., Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, and Blaney. Those are the lead lap cars.
Kenseth, I'm going to tell you, Kenseth is coming. He is on fire right now. He just blew by Jeff Gordon, and he's up on the back bumper of the 12 car back there with the 31 in sight.
Dick Berggren.
Matt Kenseth, Mike, has been on the radio with his crew ever since that spin, and their goal, their entire focus, has been to get on the lead lap again. Right now, he has just one more car to pass, Robbie Gordon, and he will be the first car that's a lap down. If then there is a caution flag, that number 17 car, Matt Kenseth, is back on the lead lap with a fast race car, maybe fast enough to win it.
Well, there's nobody better at coming from the back to the front than Matt Kenseth, and probably nobody who has more practice doing it.
Well, and overcoming mistakes, whether they're by other people or by yourself, that's how you win championships, and that team has exemplified that for the last couple of years.
Riding with Jimmy Johnson right here in the 48 car. He's in the 9th position, racing for the position in front of him there, which is Casey Mears in the 41 car. My apologies to Chris Andrews. He's actually the crew chief for Robbie Gordon. Kevin Hamlin moved from that team to Johnny Sauter's number 30 car at the end of last year, the beginning of this year.
Junior battling Brendan Gaughan, who is a lap down.
Junior's got to feel pretty good about his car. I mean, this time last week, he'd been in the garage about 5 times. So obviously that testing that he's talked about over and over again has paid off. And I tell you, I keep listening to him. He says, hey, folks, he's sending a message. I don't know if anybody's getting it but me, but he's saying we're going to have to spend some money on some testing teams.
Now, were you kidding, Darrell, or do you have your helmet ready?
I'm gonna be a great test driver. I give good feedback. You can ask Hammond that.
There it is, the meat and the sandwich. Ryan Newman in the 12 car. Remember, he's running in 4th. The 2 guys he's racing right there, that is not for position, but those 2 guys are racing hard. We keep talking about it. Matt Kenseth, who is only thinks about 1/8 of a lap away from taking this position away, that would put him up in 15th position, the first car a lap down.
As fast as he is right now, he could possibly go up there and pass our leader. Because he's mowing them down. Here he goes by Robbie right now.
In other words, do it without the free pass.
Yeah, just go on and get the lap back. Let somebody else have the free pass.
He may go get there, but I think the fastest car on the racetrack at the moment is Kurt Busch, who 2 laps ago blasted past Jimmy Johnson and 1 lap ago moved past Casey Mears. Got Jeff Gordon as well. Kurt Busch is up to 6th place, and he's coming.
Jeff Gordon just coming out of turn 2 there. I don't know what they did to his car on that pit stop, but he is going backwards. I don't mean that literally. He's just falling back through the field.
He's going to lose this spot right here to Dale Earnhardt Jr. That's a battle for 8th.
Dick Berggren?
Well, Gordon has been quiet on the radio so far. They certainly did a good deal of work on that last pit stop, pulling the rubber out of the right rear. They also had a wrench on each side of the car, but this is the longest he has been as Biffle goes to the lead. This is long as he has been all day long being off the radio. He's been quiet. Steve Burns.
Now let's talk about Greg Biffle for a second as he just went into the lead. They took a half pound out of the left front tire on the last stop. In fact, just several laps ago, he said, ooh, I think I'm going to go up and lead me a lap. His crew chief, Doug Richard, was saying, take it easy. This is a long race, but I guess he ran out of patience.
This is the first time Biffle's led today, and it's the first time that a Ford has led today. In fact, coming into this race, of 389 laps that Ford has led this year, Matt Kenseth had led all but 5 of those.
No doubt in my mind.
And telling Biffle to take it easy like telling a junkyard dog, don't bite an intruder.
Tell you, another car that they continue to make adjustments and continue to go forward is Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car. He just went by Kurt Busch in the 97 to take the 6th position. And right now, Kurt Busch has his hands full of Casey Mears in that 41 car.
We got to fight up there for the lead again with the 20 to 16. And he did what he said he was going to do, Biffle did. I'm going to go up there and lead me a lap.
And that's 5 points.
Hey, Rusty Wallace slowing on the backstretch. Is that Rusty?
Yep.
Transmission, 4th gear going. All right, guys, let's get down to the garage.
Tough break.
And there's 4 gears in the transmission. The only one you cannot race without is 4th gear, Matt Yoakum.
Larry Mack earlier in the race, Rusty came on the radio and said, guys, it has popped out of gear. Luckily, he was able to get it back in gear, didn't lose any positions on the racetrack, but obviously that problem has multiplied. Casey Kane moves up to 2nd.
And caution is out for the 2nd time today.
Yay, Matt.
And guess who will get the free pass and the pardon?
Oh,
Matt
let me
Kenseth.
guess. Our point leader.
There you go, the 17 car.
Gosh, he's lucky.
Wouldn't you rather be lucky than good?
Oh, he is so lucky. I don't know how he does it.
Inside of every lap. And for that half hour, I'm going to do it for you, or do we need to do some more work on it? Which way was it? Did we take it out there, or did it stay the same?
Now, just to clear things out, he cannot pit with the lead lap cars. He has to wait to the lap down cars, and he will have to restart this race at the tail end of the longest line, but he's back on the lead lap. I'll take that, DW.
I like it. I'm happy again. Old 17 is smiling again.
Debris on the back straightaway, likely from Rusty Wallace's transmission trouble, is what's put us under the 2nd caution of the day. The field freezes with 13 cars on the lead lap back through Dave Blaney and Matt Kenseth to get the free pass. 150 laps complete, closing in on halfway here in Atlanta.
You know, Mike, Larry, I like this. This is a good idea. Slowing these cars down, getting them behind the pace car, getting them grouped up, and then going into pits.
You were just, and I do too, Darrell. I think it's a great way to go to not only to get order to the field, but to prevent anybody having to rush, and most importantly, to get the safety gear out on track as quickly as possible. Larry, you were just in the pits 20 laps ago. Are you coming?
You better believe it. 4 tires and adjustments. Yes, sir. No question. Because, again, we only have, with Matt getting back on the lead lap, we only have 14 cars on the lead lap. But, I mean, just look at the cars that we have a lap down. We have another 9 or 10 cars that's a lap down. And they'll be fighting to get that free pass for the next caution.
And Kenseth gets the free pass, so the cars a lap down. Well, 1 lap down will be Robbie Gordon, Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin, Ward and Jeff Burton, Bobby Labonte, Michael Waltrip, Joe Nemechek, Jeff Green, and Ricky Craven.
One thing about this grouping the field up like this is you got to be sure you watch for the open the pit down there.
Next week's NASCAR race menu brought to you by Wendy's Classic Hamburgers. It's better here. Saturday, the NASCAR Busch Series, presented by Yamaha at 12:30 Eastern on FX. And Sunday, America's Best Drivers in NASCAR Nextel Cup Series racing at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Here's Chris Myers.
And some fans are rooting on the Nextel Cup Championship points race, and they're wishing our director, Artie Kempner, a happy birthday, his 45th birthday.
Happy birthday, Artie.
Yes, so he's the guy who annoys us in our ears. We're trying to broadcast the race with Jeff Hammond. He's annoying us right now. I'm Chris Myers in the Hollywood Hotel. You know, Gibbs Racing has won, 17 of the last 15 races here in Atlanta?
7.
7 of the 15. Tony Stewart, the leader right now. But the story, Matt Kenseth, our points leader, who went a lap down and has worked his way back up to the lead lap and working his way up the field.
What happens right now, these guys are in the habit panic. They've done their job like they're supposed to. Right now, Matt Kenseth and Robbie Reiser are on the same page on lap 132. They were a lap down on 148. They got the free pass. They're back in this race, and they've got a very fast race car as we get ready to go to pit stops.
This has been a Visa race break, and let's go down to the pits and check on Matt Kenseth and the rest.
Lead lap cars pit this time around, led by Tony Stewart, Casey Kane, Greg Biffle, Ryan Newman, Jamie McMurray. Steve.
Should be a small adjustment for Tony Stewart's race car. Mike Joy, air pressure adjustment in the left rear tire. Gooch Patterson slams some gasoline in that car. Let's go to Matt.
Casey Kane says he likes the direction that they are moving with his race car. He doesn't want to make any adjustments on this stop. He wants to go a full run and see what they should do on their next stop. A good solid stop, a little bit of trouble on that left rear. He's not going to beat the 20 off pit road. It was close.
Yeah, Matt, I almost believe he might have been able to pull that off, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car was pitted right in front of him. He kind of turned dead right before he could get going. So not only Tony Stewart and that group getting the job done on the racetrack, so far they've been perfect almost 100% on pit road as well.
You know, Larry, here's something different. They've moved that guy. See how far out into the racetrack he is? That's the guy that says the pits are open. Because of the new procedure, they're being sure he usually stands behind that wall. They have moved him out there so that the drivers can see when the pit road is open.
Well, we all remember all that confusion at Martinsville back in the fall. This will help, solve that problem.
All right, lap down cars coming in. Matt.
They are going to bring Casey Kane back down pit road. We told you it was awfully close on hitting all those lugs on the left rear. Joe Krushek is going to try to hit those lugs one more time. The good thing is they have lapped so many cars today, he's not going to have too far to go to get back up to Tony Stewart. Nick?
Matt Kenseth has just finished his service on pit road, and he will go back on the lead lap as a result of a genuine team effort. This pit crew has performed, as always, flawlessly on pit road. Kenseth has driven brilliantly, and that's the combination that was necessary to make him the first car a lap down when the caution flag came out. That'll allow him to go around and get back on the lead lap again, Mike.
Now, Mike, what they'll do, they'll leave the 9 out until there's 1 to go. They'll bring him to pit road, top him up, and that way they get the lug nuts tight, get a little extra fuel in the car.
Little casual contact between Sterling Marlin and Mark Martin as they left their pit boxes. Likely no damage from that. The Golden Corral 500 presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo on Fox.
I'll call you when I get to LA.
I think you forgot something.
This isn't mine.
I'm loving it. What's the deal? Why the grins and eager faces? It's too early for the normal social graces. Is it my smile, my look, or what I say? Hey. I'm not complaining, things are going my way, yeah.
Get things your way with breakfast at McDonald's. With great tasting favorites like the classic Egg McMuffin or the hearty Sausage McMuffin with egg.
McDonald's, the best way to start my day. I'm loving it.
To every crew member living on 3 hours sleep, we pledge to trim 1/100th of a second off the next lap. To our fans who drive all night to cheer us to victory, we pledge to go 3 wide into the turn without fear. To every kid whose favorite number is 48, we pledge to trade paint with the best of them. We are Lowe's, and this is our pledge. Proud sponsor of Team 48 and everyone who plans to finish strong on Sunday.
We are the champions, my friends. We'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions.
Ah, the feeling of asking your doctor about Viagra. Want to try Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you. Or go to Viagra.com for more information.
Dale, it's important to remember that a UPS driver always has a can-do attitude. You need a package in Akron? Can do. You need an important document in London? Can do. You need a package that...
Okay, I think I got it.
Hey, you gonna race the truck?
No can do, ma'am.
Can do, Dale. Can do.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, is brought to you by UPS, the official express delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck. 154 laps complete. Tony Stewart, after pit stops, still out front of Ryan Newman, Greg Biffle, Dale Earnhardt Jr. now fourth, and Jeremy Mayfield had a great stop and lines up for the restart fifth. Steve Burns.
Well, Mike, in practice on Friday, Joe Nemechek's 01 Army car wasn't as fast as he wanted it to be, so the team changed springs. Each race car has 4 springs. They put in softer front springs, and that gave that car a lot more front grip. Just one of the ways the teams can make an adjustment here in the Nextel garage. We're ready for the green flag.
That's this week's Craftsman adjustment as we get a green flag, and Tony Stewart jumps right out with it.
Guy on the pole, you know, guy on the restart, he ought to get the jump because he's one that sets the pace, so he ought to get the jump.
Tell you about talking about get the jump. Jeremy Mayfield in that 19 car, he made about 10 position jump on pit road. We even questioned did he change 2 or 4 tires. He changed 4 tires, but I like his pit selection right at the entrance of pit road, like Kevin Harvick last week at Las Vegas. Get there, get your work done, then all you have to do is maintain pit road speed leaving.
And you see who his neighbor is, don't you?
Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick. So they liked it too, Larry.
Casey Mears, 6th place and coming. 1.5 seconds off the lead, just ahead of Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, and Jamie McMurray, as he battles Jeremy Mayfield for 5th as you watch from Mayfield's back bumper.
You just listen to the audio from Jeremy Mayfield's car right there. I mean, they're just out of the throttle about a half of a second.
Yeah, on these new tires, you're going to be perfect. That's about it.
That's some pretty close racing right there, boys. Long way to go to be beating and banging like this.
Nice and smooth. Coming back outside, clear. Go get them. Nice and smooth, hit your marks now.
Cheerleading, no substitute for it. Pumping that driver up.
You got to encourage the driver.
Robbie Gordon doesn't want to wait to get the free pass. He was all over Tony Stewart these last couple of laps.
Guys, one of the things I'm noticing right now, leader Tony Stewart, for example, as well as guys like Greg Biffle and Dale Earnhardt Jr. have just run the fastest laps of the race right after this last pit stop. So these guys are making adjustments to the race cars and making them faster as we go along.
I think also the racetrack is cooling down just a little bit. It's getting overcast. The track's going to have more grip with those fresh tires. I think that's another reason we're probably going to see even quicker and faster speeds later on in the race.
May see a caution as, nope, looks like Kevin LePage is going to make it all the way around. He's down on the apron.
Brendan got the wall real hard off turn 4 then.
77 car.
It was real crowded back in there, and I don't know if he got shoved up there or not, but he gets that bad boy a little sideways right there.
Whoa.
Yow, and there's our point leader.
In the grass with 2 wheels.
You know, just making it interesting.
You know, St. Patrick's Day is this week. Must be a shamrock or 2 riding with Matt Kenseth today.
Yeah, just making it interesting for the old boy.
Looks good. Everything looks good. I checked it at 21.5. Looks good.
Kevin LePage has gone to the garage. He will join Rusty Wallace, whose car is under repair, and retirees Belmont, Shelmerdine, Todd Bodine, Andy Hillenberg, Joe Rutland. Steve?
Well, Mike, Jeff Hammond just mentioned that Greg Biffle ran his fastest lap of the day. Now, here's the interesting thing. They didn't make any changes to that 16 of Biffle. They're looking at the cloud cover coming in, and they think that that's going to help their car run even better. Matt Yoakum.
Steve, the work in progress continues for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the Bud guys. He said the car before that last stop was good in 1 and 2. It was even better in 3 and 4, but the problem, he just didn't have enough grip. He said the car is just not grippy enough. A slight wedge adjustment on the last stop. 2 laps ago, he keyed the mic and said, yep, that's it. I've got it now.
Wow, look at that front bumper action, Darrell. Ryan Newman looked like he got a little impatient with Robbie Gordon.
Most people do.
Look at Greg Biffle in the 16 car now. Remember, this is a battle for second. He's been running right on the low side, right there against that white line. But look right there behind him, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's back in this race in that 8 car. But guys, we talk about the track changing. We are almost 2 hours into this race. The temperature of the track has dropped almost 10 degrees. That's going to change the handling of these race cars.
For the better. I
yes,
mean,
it will.
It's going to pick up grip. So it's going to be. I talked to my wife earlier, Stevie, and she said it was raining in Nashville a little while ago, so it's coming this way.
Just remember, when we started this race, it was 96 degrees. That makes a huge difference, 10 degrees in track temperature. Faster speeds, plus it tightens the car up. It gives them more grip to the racetrack.
Robbie Gordon, after trying to get to Tony Stewart, then tried to hold off Greg Biffle, and now he's moved to the high side, and Biffle gets by, but as they say, watch this.
I've seen that before, O'Berry. Remember down here last year, Junior spun Ryan off the corner there last year, right? That very same way. That's that line, that's that crack in the track I'm talking about. Watch that 12 car come up the hill now. And here he comes, and he gets a little bit loose right there. Junior gives him a little nerf.
Boy, Junior had a run on him, and when he had to get out of the throttle, there goes Casey Mears, who had a full load of momentum coming through.
Took full advantage of the situation. But the amazing thing about Dale Earnhardt Jr., about 40 laps ago, before that first caution, he was almost about to go a lap down to the leader.
We talked at the top of the show about hits and misses. Maybe they were the wrong kind of hits and misses. We've had a lot of close calls today. 165 laps complete in the Golden Corral 500, presented on Fox by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo.
Just think, Mikey, we're the only 2 brothers to win the Daytona 500.
That's pretty cool, isn't it, bro?
It'd be great if we were the only brothers to drive the old Aaron's Dream Machine.
Darrell, we've been there and done the math.
I know, 2 drivers, 1 car, but look, co-pilots. The crew and I designed it.
I don't know about that.
You do know Aaron's has the guaranteed lowest price on high-definition widescreen projection TV monitors. Do the math. Shop Aaron's.
Mikey, it could be historical.
Hysterical, maybe.
Maybe.
If a tender moment turns into the right moment, will you be ready? Introducing Cialis, the first tablet for erectile dysfunction that gives you up to 36 hours to choose the moment that's right for you and your partner. New Cialis goes to work fast and can work for up to 36 hours. Cialis is not for everyone. If you take nitrates for chest pain or certain alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, do not take Cialis. Such combinations could cause a sudden unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. The most common side effects were headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. Erections lasting longer than 4 hours, though rare, require immediate medical help. Discuss your health status with your doctor to ensure Cialis is right for you and you are healthy enough for sexual activity. Ask your doctor if a free sample of prescription Cialis is right for you. 36-hour Cialis. When the moment is right, will you be ready?
Advanced Auto Parts.
Need a battery? We've got everything to get you started. In stock at ready-to-go low prices. And we'll install it for free. So bring it on.
We're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
Now at TGI Fridays, 2 eat for $19.99. Enjoy an appetizer and 2 entrees from Friday's special menu. Hurry in for 2 eat for $19.99. Now at TGI Fridays.
Little help. Okay.
Labonte's in front.
Bobby's in front.
No, Terry.
Oh, Terry's in front.
Oh, there goes Marlin.
Marlin leads.
Now it's Kenton. Harvey. Wait, no, there goes Rusty.
Old timer.
Oh, wait, Petty? Richard Petty's in the lead.
Walkie-talkies get it done. Next up.
Be
The only thing more intense than the way this season started is the way it will end. On March 30th, the panic will spread.
It's inside the building!
And the ultimate threat
You're insane.
will be made.
What does he want? Dinner?
24. The final 9 episodes of the year begin Tuesday, March 30th on Fox.
Mach 3 Turbo Champion invites you to enter the Gillette Young Guns Challenge. Each week, a lucky fan will win $5,000. Go to GilletteYoungGuns.com for details. Tony Stewart, our leader at 171 laps, but there's a big bullseye closing in his mirror.
I know a young gun that's about to lead this race, and it's Casey Mears in that 41 car. His car works good on the bottom. It works good up top. He pretty much can run that car anywhere he wants to. The biggest thing this kid has going for him right now, confidence.
Well, he's got that, and he's using it. Got a fast car, too.
Look at him right around. He's in the Tony Stewart lane right there, right around the bottom of the racetrack. And look at them side by side. Casey Mears wants to lead this race.
And back in 4th place, Dale Jr., Ryan Newman. Go at it.
Casey Mears did lead that lap at the start-finish line. Look at these guys. I mean, this is 175 laps into this race, and look at Greg Biffle in 16 right there watching all this.
Now, when Biffle went up and led a lap, Stewart went right back by him. He's not having such an easy time with Mears.
You never know about Tony, what he's thinking. He might be just checking these kids out, saying, you know, what do you got, kid?
But just look right there. All 3 makes represented. 1, 2, 3. Dodge, Chevrolet, and Ford. Greg Biffle trying to figure out which one of these guys will prevail.
Yeah, and while they're doing that, Dale Jr. is closing up at a high rate of speed.
And Ryan Newman in the 12's not far behind him.
Well, Jr. just got by him, and now Jr.'s going to be right up in the middle of this whole little deal right here.
Let's take parity a step further, as Biffle almost brushed the wall there. Of the lead lap cars, 5 are Dodges, 4 are Chevys, 4 are Fords.
Don't get much better than that.
But you know Biffle, he's going to wear that right rear quarter panel out. He's done it ever since I was with trucks, Busch cars, Cup.
Junior has a look under Biffle. Having a look and having the spot being 2 different things, Darrell.
Yeah, he had to get up out of the throttle, and here comes Ryan Newman right back underneath him going down into turn 1. So he's going to have to regroup.
Talk about comers and goers. The car right behind these guys, the 6 car, Mark Martin. His car was not that good in the early going, got a lap down, but he's right up there in position to get the pardon or the free pass should we get a caution. He's been running with these leaders now for 25 laps.
Let's talk about misses. That missed lug nut on Casey Kane, where he had to make an extra pit stop. With 14 cars in the lead lap, Kane has gained only 1 position since the restart. He is 13th as Casey Mears goes back to the lead.
Look at Greg Biffle. He's right there down to the bottom. Look at the different lines with these guys.
I think Tony let that, I think he wanted to get that 41 car out from behind him.
Dick Berggren.
Jimmy Elledge's Casey Mears, crew chief. We heard earlier on the radio that he was struggling with his shoulder that was going to sleep. How's he doing out there?
Looks like it don't hurt too bad. He's doing really well, though. Really proud of him, man. It's pretty cool to see him lead this race. And, you know, really neat deal.
Doing a great job. Tim Addy.
And Tony Eury Jr., the car chief, just pointed his driver past Tony Stewart coming down the front stretch. Tony, that test really paid off, didn't it?
Yeah, we had a real bad week last week, but the guys kept their chin up. We went to Bristol Wednesday and Kentucky Thursday. Just learned a lot about this new tire, and obviously it's paying off today. Kind of struggled early in the week when we applied them things that we learned, so it's just been a real good day so far.
And you should hear Dale Jr. on the radio. He is ecstatic. At one point, he yelled, "Whoa, look at me."
Maybe it was just then when he and Tony got together.
I think if you want to look at why he was hollering at, whoa, look at me, watch this watch this shot. He and Tony come down through here and they exchange greetings.
This is coming off turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Ryan Newman in the 12 on the bottom. I'm going to tell you what, Tony Stewart in the 20 beats that left front fender up. He's going to be dog meat.
Yeah, he is, and I think he wasn't happy about Junior trying to slide up in front of him.
Well, now that they've gotten past Tony, Casey Mears and Greg Biffle are going to battle for the lead.
But, you know, I thought Tony kind of let Mears go by, but it looks like Tony's got a little bit of a problem. He's kind of drifting back.
Don't worry about nothing behind you.
Well, look at Biffle off that last corner, Darrell. That car of Greg Biffle's got really loose.
He likes it that way. He just, I tell you, he'll wear that right rear out on that thing, rubbing it up against the wall.
Yeah, I mean, he runs every lap like it's the last lap. We need to also document Rusty Wallace is back out on the racetrack with a new transmission, 33 laps down to the leader.
Well, if Biffle likes the rear end hung out like that, he's going to love Darlington next Sunday.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see how the safer barriers down there affect the racing, because they've taken away 26 inches of groove of racetrack.
You know, I read some quotes from Casey Mears, the 41 car this week, and people were asking him all winter long, is your job in jeopardy? And he said, you know what? Chip Ganassi made a promise to me he would stick with me no matter what through 2 years. I think Chip Ganassi made a good move by sticking with him.
Well, and that's the best confidence builder you can get. Never mind what you read and never mind all the rumors and the whispers in the garage. You go right to your car owner, and when he gives you the vote of confidence, that means a lot.
It's all about performance. You perform, your owner will be very proud and happy of you.
It's a pretty simple formula, right?
Casey Mears leads Greg Biffle and Ryan Newman in Atlanta.
Who do you love? Who do you love?
They're the rock stars of NASCAR. They could drive any car they want. So what do they choose to race? The defending manufacturer's champion, Chevy.
Who do you love?
Chevy, an American revolution.
Every coach knows the ability to stay in the game is what counts. So if you want to stay in the game, don't let anything hold you back. Take action to stay in the game. Ask about Levitra.
Ask your doctor if a free trial is right for you. Levitra, stay in the game.
Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Levitra. Levitra works for me. See if it'll work for you.
My old Nationwide wireless plan said they didn't charge me for roaming. Yeah, right. If I stayed in network, but if you can't even see the network, yoo-hoo! Network, I'm in the network. Oh, network. How do you stay in it?
There's no in or out of network with the new Singular Nation. You never pay roaming or long distance, even with your nationwide mobile-to-mobile minutes.
I call it my plan.
The new Singular Nation, another reason Singular fits you best.
No nomination this year, huh?
Bummer. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do, right? Oh, hey, would you grab me a Diet Pepsi?
Sorry, it's the last one. You just can't win tonight.
It's so hot! Fire in the hole! Help! The pain! I can't feel my tongue.
These aren't even hot.
I know. That was just a little bit of acting. Thanks, man.
Nothing performs like a Diet Pepsi. It's the Diet Cola.
Unsurpassed engineering, unparalleled technology. It blows away the competition. Champion, Mach 3 Turbo Champion. It's the world's best shave. Gillette guarantees it. Now with a red-hot new look, nothing else even comes close. Test drive one today. Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette. The best a man can get.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox is presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns. And brought to you by New Levitra. New choice here now. Ask your doctor today. By Diet Pepsi. It's the Diet Cola. And by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American revolution.
Welcome back into the Golden Corral 500 presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo. And Casey Mears, who just celebrated his 26th birthday on Friday, moving all the way up to the top. And, of course, Casey, the nephew of four-time Indy 500 winner Rick Mears.
That's correct. Right there, and a couple other guys right there. Dave Blaney, guy who's run well here before, up in ninth. And we look at the leader right there, Casey Mears right there, running that high group, Chris.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. currently running 4th, and I know you spent some time with them this week talking about how this was a telltale race for them given their points championship run and then the problems they had in Las Vegas.
Well, I think definitely they were embarrassed by their performance in Las Vegas. They went and they said they tested at Kentucky to try to figure out what was going on. Dale Jr. came to the crew chief and told him, he said, man, I've got to figure this tire out. That was the reason for going to Kentucky before they even went to Bristol. Bristol was already scheduled. They felt like they learned a lot. Talked to Tony Eury Sr. this morning, and they're not going to quit until they figure this deal out because they want to win this championship, which is a mark of a good team.
Casey Kane currently running 14th, and of course Matt Kenseth 12th. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's go back upstairs, rejoin Mike, Larry, and Darrell.
Derek Cope slow on the apron, makes it to pit road. Kevin LePage has made repairs and rejoins the race at 191 laps. Let's go back and have another look at that bump and some of the conversation that ensued.
And this is Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car with Ryan Newman in the 12 on the bottom coming off turn 4.
It's got to hurt that left front fender, and Tony's been falling back ever since.
Now we listened in on Dale Jr.'s reaction over the two-way radio.
What was that? Had a flat tire. Tell me what happened there.
I was saying 3 wide, and he just come down and he was on your quarter panel pushing you. 20 was on your right rear quarter panel. Low one.
And see, when he said what was that, he thought he had a flat tire. He didn't know Tony was there making the car move around. Peripheral vision is very hard to have with the Hans device and the way they fix the seats now.
And I still question there Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his new spotter for this year, Stevie Reeves, still going through a little bit of a learning process because of Ty Norris being there for so many races for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And we just heard Tony Stewart radio into his crew chief, Greg Zipadelli. He says, now I am tight in the center of the turns and loose off. Earlier in this race, he just had a little bit of tightness in the center, but now the handling is falling away from that 20 car.
Yeah, they don't need to adjust the race car. They need to fix the left front fender. That's the reason the car's tight, not turning.
Yeah, I think so. That, and it keeps getting cooler and cooler, and that's going to tighten that car up. And he's going to have to search around, possibly find him a line to run.
9th place, Dave Blaney, our dark horse pick for the day in that Bill Davis Dodge. Jeff Gordon's car, which wasn't running that well at the start of this run, now seems to be coming back.
And you just talk about the open wheel stars of the past that are running good here. Dave Blaney fits right in that category. He's always ran well here. Remember, this is just their second Nextel Cup start of 2004. No sponsor on that race car, and he's driving the wheels off that thing.
The way he's running, they should have one. Casey Mears leads Greg Biffle by 1.2 seconds. Let's go to Mears' pit. Here's Dick.
And a lot of that success is due to his spotter, Chris Morris, who has been on the radio with Casey Mears, ever since Biffle got near his back bumper. Spotter Morris said, concentrate on your line. Don't worry about anything behind you. He took a pause and he said, it's all in front. A couple of laps later, when Mears had opened up some distance, he said, great lap. Just concentrate on your line. You're pulling away. Keep it up. So spotter Chris Morris is helping Casey Mears, the leader, by just coaching him and telling him exactly what he has to do. And Mike, that's to look through the windshield and not in the rearview mirror.
Good advice, Dick. Right side of your screen, 7th place battle. Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart go at it. Huge crowd here in Atlanta. I think the biggest March race crowd I've ever seen. Governor Sonny Perdue among them. Interested spectator. Hosted a lot of the NASCAR folks at the state capitol on Thursday. I don't think they did any laps around the dome, but I know there were a few that wanted to. A pretty nice reception from the state of Georgia as we come to Atlanta here. Steve Burns.
With Greg Biffle's crew chief, Doug Richard. Doug, I just heard you say you're going to stop at about 15 laps. What will you adjust to that race car, that 16?
Well, I'm not sure what I'd change on the car. Seems like when the sun's out, I'm a little looser, and as soon as I get cloud cover, I'm a little bit tight. So, you know, I guess I'll have to look at the sky and see what we're going to change next. But, you know, today, the National Guard, Subway, Jackson Hewitt, Travelodge, you know, we've got a really good car, and we just hope we can get to the end without any major problems.
Thanks, Doug. Let's go to Matt.
Steve, after having to come down pit road for a second time to hit those lugs, Casey Kane restarted 12th. He has since dropped back to 14th. The problem, no adjustments on that last stop. He felt like he had the car in the area that it needed to be. Now it's skatey, way too loose. He says he can't even hardly turn the wheel. Just cannot wait till he hits pit road for that next stop to tighten it up.
Thanks, Matt. Let's have a look at what just happened over at DW's hot spot, turn 2.
And this is a classic example of what I was talking about. One high, one low. See the kind of that, it's not a big deal, but it's a crack in the track right there, and he pushes right up into the car on the outside. Fortunately, these two cats were able to hang on and save it.
And Darrell, it looked like Jeff Burton in the 99 was on the verge of being very loose to begin with, and he just made him looser.
Man, this cat here is checked out.
Casey Mears at 199 laps, 1.1 seconds up on Ryan Newman in the Golden Corral 500.
No surprise, the Home Depot is NASCAR's home improvement warehouse.
This is Wendy's headquarters, and they sent me a letter. Dear Mr. Wendy, that's me. Thanks for your kind words. Yes, Wendy's hamburgers are delicious because we make them fresh when you order them. And you're right, our classic double with cheese does rock, especially the combo. But to your self-appointed title of Mr. Wendy unofficial spokesman, our lawyers insist that you cease and desist from representing us.
That's him.
It's carpet speak for keep up the good work.
Hey, you!
Wendy's Classic Hamburgers. It's better here.
Hey!
Hey, Dale. Phil's on the phone.
Thanks. Hey, Phil. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Dale. How about a round at Doral? It's me, you, and Gretzky.
Wayne? The Blue Monster? I'm in. Hey, who's the fourth?
I don't know yet. I'm working on it.
What will Phil do next? He might call you to win a chance to play the Pro-Am at the Ford Championship at Doral with Phil, Wayne Gretzky, and Dale Jarrett. And a chance to win a new Ford Expedition. Log on to philsonthephone.com for details.
Introducing Visa Extras for small business. It's kind of like finding free stuff at work. Enroll now, and when you use your Visa business card, qualifying purchases earn points for everything from office supplies to travel. Even select NFL tickets. Sign up at visa.com/Visa Extras.
On the track, these men are fierce competitors.
But today, they are helping build the Victory Junction Gang Camp for children with life-threatening illnesses. Please join these and other dedicated drivers in support of this empowering camp being built in honor of Adam Petty.
Through your donations, this dream will soon become a reality.
Join the gang, the Victory Junction Gang,
and feel your heart race.
Okay, which one of you guys took the restrictor plate off the bulldozer? I mean, what a traitor.
Maybe they should stick to driving.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of NASCAR. Play Race the Pros online video game at foxsports.com. Keyword games, bring your helmet. 205 laps. And Casey Mears trying to wear out the field, but Ryan Newman has reeled him in.
The big question has been, after qualifying day, can Ryan Newman seal the deal? He won 8 races last year, but just hadn't quite sealed the deal this year after sitting on the pole at Rockingham and after sitting on the pole here. But right now, with about 120 laps to go, I think the racetrack has come to that race car, Darrell. I think the cooler conditions suits it more.
I think you're right, because he's known to run the baby hung out just a little bit, a little loose, so maybe the track tightened up a little bit and fixed his car for him.
You know, we talk about comers and goers. I want to talk about teammates. The car that's up there in the 4th position right now, Jeremy Mayfield, had a respectable run, but that pit stop about 50-something laps ago, they catapulted him up in the top 5, and he's hanging there working on Grant Biffle for the 16 car. But on the other end of the spectrum, the goers, all because of a mistake on pit road, Casey Kane has only made his way back to 13th position. He just actually moved into 11th, but he's over a half a lap behind our leader, Casey Mears, right now. Just hadn't been able to make that distance back up.
Jeremy Mayfield went into the pits 10th, came out 6th and moved up to 5th when Kane had to make that second stop. And now here he is after Greg Biffle for 3rd.
Driving off into turn 1 this late into a run at 190 miles per hour on old tires.
And Darrell, it sounded like Mayfield had to get out of it to keep from washing up into Biffle.
Yeah, that's what happens to you. You get alongside somebody, and particularly I think with the smaller rear blade, you know, that have a tendency to suck you right around. These two guys are... all these guys here are really working on each other for position. That's for the lead. And
yeah, it's all our top 4 cars right here. Battle for the lead, battle for 3rd. And then Jeremy Mayfield running the bottom of the racetrack where Greg Biffle was running it earlier. Now Greg Biffle in the 16s moved to the top. We'll see if they flip-flop as they get down to turn 3 and 4.
We get such a great run when you come off high over there, but obviously the shorter distance is around the bottom if you can get back to the throttle.
And as they get side by side, they're going to have company. Junior right with him. Whoa, Biffle almost got the fence.
For about how many times of the day? And not far behind this group while they're doing all this, Jamie McMurray in that 42 car, the same car. He's ran at every downforce track. He's back there lurking in 6th.
I'm not laughing at Biffle. I'm laughing at how often he can do that and get our attention, and it's almost become commonplace.
No, it is. I'm telling you, every race I've watched the guy drive in the Busch Cup, I don't care what it is, he does that.
Look right here as our leaders get into traffic. Terry Labonte in the 5 car. He is a lap car. Ryan Newman wants to take advantage, wants to use Terry Labonte as a pick.
Pit stops. Mayfield is in, and so is Biffle.
These are scheduled green flag stops.
Sterling Marlin's been in.
I kind of like coming in right now, Larry. I like coming in, getting my tires on there, and maybe making up a little bit of time.
Well, I think that's what Greg Biffle and that group, Doug Richard, has done all day long. They've kind of short pitted, not a lot, but I think that's played to their role, Steve Burns.
Hey, Larry Mackey had a clear shot in. His teammate Kurt Busch will come in just a little bit later. No adjustments to that 16 car. Biffle saying it gets better in the longer run. Just 4 tires and gas. Matt.
And Ryan Newman's crew up on the wall waiting for him to bring that pole-winning car down for service. They have made small gains all day. Ryan says the car a little tight, especially down in 3 and 4. Look for a possible wedge adjustment as George does make the wedge adjustment. As they come around to the left side, Joe Piet going to work on the left rear. Terry on the front to Steve Burns.
Well, Matt, we said Tony Stewart lost the handle on that car during that last run. They just made a wedge adjustment. Tony said, how did the car get that bad? His crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, said we took a ½ a pound in the right rear. Tony said, take it back out. Dick.
Jeff Gordon has just left pit road. He did hit the wall a few laps later and has basically said all day that he does not like the car. It's awful for him. Casey Mears is going to be coming down pit road very shortly.
Jamie McMurray in, and so coming out of the pits is Kurt Busch. Jeannie?
Well, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson saying he's free in, but more free off than he has been. So they're talking about air pressure adjustments to that right rear and fuel.
Leaders in, Dick.
Casey Mears in. He is having the best in run of his entire 40-race career today. A legitimate shot to win it. The crew knows it's up to them right now. No mistakes, and they're having a tough time on the left side. Jack doesn't pick the car up. Oh, what a slow pit stop. The Jack just didn't get it up.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 8 car, he is the leader. He will get his 5 bonus points, and he's going to run another lap or 2. Matt Yoakum.
Casey Kane comes to a stop. Look for an air pressure adjustment. Remember, we told you earlier that Casey's Dodge was extremely loose. He could barely hold on to it. A little slow on the right front for Jim Pullman. A little bit of trouble. He catches back up to Joe Kruschek. Decent stop, and he's down and away. 15 even. Good comeback for these guys.
Dale Jarrett, Joe Nemechek, Dave Blaney, Jeff Green, all on pit road. Johnny Sauter.
Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car, the Budweiser car, for his green flag stop. These are all scheduled green flag stops, 4 tires.
Kyle Petty coming in with him. Brendan Gaughan also on pit road, and this is the 3rd time today that we have cycled through green flag pit stops. And Junior's in. Matt?
Junior pits lap 216. He said the car was a little bit tight, but not bad. They're going to try to adjust the race car with air pressure as Phil drive. The heat hits those lugs in the left front. A little bit of
Things should cycle through with Ryan Newman as the leader. And Jeremy Mayfield, though, is going to come out second. Greg Biffle, Casey Mears, with the slowness on that stop, will slip to fourth. Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jarrett, Tony Stewart, and Matt Kenseth at 216 laps.
Hey, fish stick, your SUV's pretty tough, right? Not when friction takes over, pal. Friction and heat cause stress and wear, which over time can make that little dinghy seem a lot heavier. Nice shooting, Tex. You need Quaker State 4x4 and SUV synthetic blend. It's proven to reduce friction and deliver superior performance under high stress and heat. One word, pal. Carpool. Quaker State. The power to reduce friction. Don't make me send you the lab results.
They said someday you'll find all who love are blind. Oh, when your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes.
You got that Coke? Sure. Thanks, man. Oh, that's good stuff. Ain't it? Let's do this. You the man.
We are the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting.
Ah, the feeling of asking your doctor about Viagra.
NASCAR's most exciting month happens in the heart of NASCAR country. Spend this May at Lowe's Motor Speedway. First, the action cranks up Saturday night, May 22nd, with the NASCAR Nextel All-Star Challenge. There's never been a racing event quite like it. Then get ready for the big one. Sunday, May 30th, it's NASCAR's most challenging event, the Coca-Cola 600. What driver will have the mettle to make it to victory lane? Be a part of NASCAR's most exciting month. Spend May at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Call for your seats today.
Live from Darlington, Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth duel at the track too tough to tame. Nextel Cup Racing, next Sunday on Fox.
Earnhardt Jr. takes over Wallace as we head into the final.
Racing will never be the same, with exclusive content on AOL and Track Pass on NASCAR.com.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, is brought to you by Aaron's Sales and Lease Ownership. Let Aaron's drive your dreams home today. By Quaker State, the power to reduce friction. And by the new Chevrolets, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months, an American revolution. At 222 laps, here are the Chevy point leaders, where those drivers would leave today in the points if they retain their current positions on the racetrack. Stewart, Earnhardt Jr., and Gordon.
And I would say after Las Vegas, if Dale Earnhardt Jr. and that 8 group can come out here third in points, they will feel awfully good about it.
Be pretty happy. Only had 2 cautions today. They've both been brief ones for debris, but we've had 3 green flag pit stops. So with those long green runs, right now 14 cars on the lead lap, led by Ryan Newman and Jeremy Mayfield, who's 2 seconds back of the pole sitter. Casey Mears, after that pit stop miscue, now has climbed his way back up to 4th. But here's what's happened. Watch the jack band come around to the left side. Makes a slight trip there. The tire changer is watching and waiting for the car to get up in the air. And they complete the stop.
Yeah, the tire changer's kind of sprawled out there. See how far back his kind of feet are sticking, and the jackman tripped over one of them.
But then, Darrell, young driver trying to make up time. Is it true you can't make up time? You can only lose time?
When you do that, it is, buddy. When you scrape it off the wall, I mean, you get away with that if you do it slightly and lightly and politely, but you can't do it all nightly.
But I tell you what, a group that just continues to make up ground for their driver on pit road. Remember, this is green flag stops. Look at Jeremy Mayfield's group, the 19 group. They go from 4th to 2nd. And then the real loser, of course, is Casey Mears going from 1st to 4th. And I think we pretty much documented why. Now these guys are to the point where they possibly only have one more pit stop, one more green flag stop. This is where you get good information for your driver. You pat all those crew members on the back and say, one more time, 5 off, 5 on, got to make it right.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
NASCAR is coming to IMAX. And it's racing right off the screen in IMAX 3D. Projected on a screen up to 8 stories high with 12,000 watts of digital surround sound that puts you behind the wheel. NASCAR 3D, the IMAX experience, rated PG. Now playing at IMAX theaters.
Over the past 3 years, Americans have faced many serious challenges. Now we face a choice. We can go forward with confidence, resolve, and hope. Or we can turn back to the dangerous illusion that terrorists are not plotting and outlaw regimes are no threat. We can continue to work to create jobs, reform education, and lower the cost of health care. Together, we're moving America forward. I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
There are 2 ways to kill weeds. New Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only Season-Long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season or spend the season killing weeds. New Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
Trucks Only, the home of the free lifetime engine warranty. That's right. Buy any car or truck at Trucks Only and receive a free engine warranty for as long as you own the vehicle. No other dealer in the Valley can make this incredible offer. Look at this. A 2000 Ford F-150 regular cab. This short bed has only 48,000 miles and is discounted to only $99.99. Or a 97 Chevy Suburban 4x4 lifted with off-road wheels and tires, V8 with rear AC and third seat at $12,999. Hundreds available. Trucks Only. Mesa, Phoenix, Sholo.
Fox LOL Sunday presents a night of all-new episodes. Front to back, top to bottom, inside and out, new. Oh, I'm so confused. It all starts with new episodes of King of the Hill and Oliver Bean filled with gags.
Gagging is normal.
Then on The Simpsons, Homer's busted for insider trading.
If you dance on the grounds that I what? Inseminate myself. This guy's coming on to me.
Afterwards, Bernie Mac hides the truth about Jordan's jailbird dad.
I think my dad liked dogs.
I remember one time in particular he was surrounded by them.
Plus on Malcolm.
Where is the manager?
Will Lois's pizza boycott be sabotaged by her own family?
That was the taste of evil.
Followed by Arrested Development. All new episodes start at 7/6 Central tonight on Fox.
232 laps complete in the Golden Corral 500 presented on Fox by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo. And the parity page has taken a tilt. 4 Dodges in the top 5. In the second 5, 3 Chevys and 2 Fords. As Ryan Newman and Jeremy Mayfield continue to lead this field. And the biggest surprise of the day, right in front of our leader, Bobby Labonte, 6-time Atlanta winner, 2 laps down and about to go 3. Who'd have thought that that car would be that far off here?
You could have got my money.
But I'm going to tell you something, guys. You know, the Dodges have done something. Over the winter, I don't know what they changed. I mean, we do know that they got a different tail. And I don't know what they did under the hood, but they have stepped their program up big time. I even saw it yesterday in the truck race. Bobby Hamilton yesterday, he could pass at will. He had a fast hot rod, and it looked like most of it was under the hood. Of course, Bobby's a great driver as well.
Let me double check that. Labonte is 1 lap down, about to go 2 laps down.
There's a Dodge that just keeps getting better and better all day long. And that 19 car, Jeremy Mayfield, once again, I think a big tribute to Kenny Francis and that pit crew. But it's like the racetrack just continues to come to this car as well. Just keep getting better.
Looks pretty comfortable in there. He's not he's looking around a little bit, and he's not holding. When you're not gripping the steering wheel, He's just kind of got his hands laying there. That means that car is driving pretty darn good.
Nice and smooth. Behind him, Biffle, Mears, McMurray, and then Junior, who apparently you've heard all weekend long about what they did this week to overcome the troubles in Las Vegas. And Junior could leave here third in points, which after last weekend wouldn't be too bad. He'd trail Kenseth and Stewart by 112. And that's not bad considering what's happened over the last 10 days.
And you got to remember something, folks. We got basically a 26 race season. You're going to run 26 races, then you're going to clean the slate
and throw a caution flag.
Yeah,
tighten
so
everybody up.
Doesn't matter how far ahead Matt Kenseth might be, as long as you're in the top 10, you got a shot.
And with only 26 races, the number of mulligans you have is not very many. Dale Earnhardt Jr. probably used his only one he can use.
Now Kenseth is, and you've read this page before, quietly climbing his way back up through the field. He got himself back on the lead lap after spinning entering the pits, and now he is up to 8th place.
But Dick Bourbon, the problem is he's 20 seconds behind the leader. He's one of the cars that has to have a caution to get caught up.
Yeah, but not to worry about Matt Kenseth. That Ford is hot and has been fast all day. And hear this. Henry Ford ran one race in his entire life. It happened in 1901, and Henry won the race. $1,000 went to him, but more importantly, the intention of investors who sent money his way. Between the prize money and the investors, he got enough money from winning that race to start the Ford Motor Company. For over 100 years, Ford's been racing ever since. And Ford's had a great 2004, winning the pole for the Daytona 500. And 2 of the first 3 races. If you haven't looked at a Ford lately, look again.
Well, they've looked at the back of that Ford a lot this year. They've seen the word Lexan a number of laps, especially at Rockingham and last week at Las Vegas.
Yeah, and of course, we've still got a good ways to go here. Another green flag stop, so this thing is far from over.
Meanwhile, Casey Kane has picked up 1 spot, moving past Dale Jarrett.
And
on this lap.
Mike, this happened to him last week, if you recall. Middle of the race, the 3/4 way through the race, kind of fell back mid-pack. Had a problem in the pits last week. Kind of fell back mid-pack. But when the caution came and they were able to get him back up front, he was right there trying to win the race.
You spent some time with him this weekend. What kind of sense do you get of Casey Kane?
Just I don't know, don't worry, I can tell you, he's a pleasant young man to be around. He's got a great attitude. I asked him, I said, were you nervous when you stepped into this car known as Bill Elliott's car, like at Daytona, and you're surrounded by all these superstars? Were you afraid you were going to mess up? He said, no, not really. He said, I felt very comfortable. Once I get in the car, I feel like that's where I belong.
And Mike, I've been watching his lap times. He's as quick as any car out there. He's about 2 or 3 tenths quicker than Ryan Newman. Once again, the problem, a lot like Matt Kenseth, he's 23 seconds behind the leader. He needs that caution like he got last week at Las Vegas.
Now, here's a funny story. I asked him, I said, now you're coming off of turn 4 at Rockingham there. You're racing the champ for the win. I said, you ever think about nerfing him? And he said, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Casey Mears is sitting down at the table a little ways. Casey said, I would have.
All right, the last 2 cars on the lead lap as Ryan Newman has now gotten past Bobby Labonte to put Labonte now 2 laps down. Last 2 cars on the lead lap, 13th and 14th, Kurt Busch, the 97, and Jeff Gordon in the 24.
And I think this is part of our comers and our goers, because these 2 cars, Kurt Busch in the 97, Jeff Gordon in the 24, they looked like they had cars that could contend for the win early in the race.
Yeah, there's a couple of Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon both have just kind of found their way back through the field. For whatever reasons, pit stops, bad adjustments, weather, something has affected those race cars.
Now ahead of these 2, Dave Blaney is 12th, Dale Jarrett is 11th. Let's get an update from Jeannie.
And crew chief Mike Ford telling his driver Dale Jarrett, look, 1 more stop and it'll be a welcome one for the 88 car. Just starting to get loose, but it's kind of been his problem all day. It's just starting since this recent pit stop. Before he came in, he said the car had a really bad feel, but it is feeling better. But of course, it is all relative. It is still loose all the way through.
Thanks, Jeannie. Kurt Busch, kind of like his teammate Greg Biffle, has found his way to the edge of the racetrack, exiting 4.
That was a little harder lick than we've seen some of those other cars like Casey Mears and even Greg Biffle hit that wall.
When you see them rock, that means the tires were trying to go up the wall. They bounce off the wall.
Casey Mears, Jamie McMurray, two Dodges fighting for fourth. Well, Ryan Newman puts a lap on Robbie Gordon. 245 complete at Atlanta.
UPS drivers lift a lot of heavy objects, so, you know, it's recommended that we start the day with some warming up. I prefer yoga.
Place your hands in here. Left foot in for two. Exhale, step, step, all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift the arms up, lift the spirit.
Maybe tomorrow we'll try jumping jacks.
That'd be good.
At Sears, we help you create the good life. The good life is a Kenmore grill with a built-in light. It's the Craftsman Fresh Start system, so your mower starts the first time. Towels that are colorful and comfy, and dryers that dry 22 in one load. The good life is finding something special just for you. So come to the Sears Spring Sale this week, because you deserve the good life. Sears, good life, great price.
Hey, Fish Stick, your SUV's pretty tough, right? Not when friction takes over, pal. Friction and heat cause stress and wear, which over time can make that little dinghy seem a lot heavier. Nice shooting, Tex. You need Quaker State 4x4 and SUV synthetic blend. It's proven to reduce friction and deliver superior performance under high stress and heat. One word, pal. Carpool. Quaker State. The power to reduce friction. Don't make me send you the lab results.
This is a map of my nationwide wireless plan. But if I go mobile to mobile, there's this whole different map that's nationwide, but not this nationwide. And these other maps, they're all nationwide and all different.
With the new Singular Nation, you never have to worry about maps on any call because you never pay roaming or long distance. Even your mobile-to-mobile minutes are truly nationwide.
I call it my nationwide means nationwide plan.
The new Singular Nation, another reason Singular fits you best.
Sunday, Sunday, see Big Eddie haul trees in his fuel injected Hemi Dodge Ram 1500. Sunday, Sunday, Big Eddie picks up stuff in his 345 horsepower Hemi Dodge Ram. Sunday, Sunday, going fishing in a Hemi-powered Ram. On an 8. Monday, Monday. You gotta stop.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox is presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns. Caution is out for the third time today. Jamie McMurray had his foot to the floor and the engine grenaded. He has coasted to the garage. Cleanup crew is out on the track, and the leaders come to pit road, led by Newman and Mayfield. Dick.
Jeremy Mayfield says that he's going to take 4 tires. The car feels pretty good. It's a little pushy when he's on the gas coming out of the corner. So far, so good on this pit stop. No mistakes at all. A terrific run for Mayfield. He started in 16th position and pitted in second spot. Steve Burns.
Greg Biffle on pit road. They're going to take 1 pound out of the right front inner liner on that 16 of Greg Biffle. He has a clear shot out. Matt.
Leader Ryan Newman working on his first top 5 finish since Rockingham last November. Slight air pressure adjustment, slight wedge adjustment. It's going to be close whether he beats the 19 off. The car needed to be a little more free.
I tell you, that 19 car, that pit Larry is working for him. He was out of his pit box before other people even got in.
I mean, your pit selection is by how you qualify. I got to believe people are going to start looking hard at these pits that are down near the entrance of pit road.
It's a great place to be on the caution particularly. And Steve, what do you think?
DW, I'm listening to Doug Richard and Greg Biffle talk right now. There was trouble on the left front tire. They didn't have the tire on and the hub was spinning. They wanted Greg to keep his foot on the brake.
Guys, I'm going to tell you who this caution was a huge benefit for. Casey Kane in that 9 car and people like Matt Kenseth in the 17 who needed to make some ground up. Also a huge break for Jeff Gordon and Kurt Busch, who was just about to go a lap down.
Here's what happened to put us under the third caution of the day at lap 246. Watch the 42 of Jamie McMurray.
just had passed his teammate for about the 4th or 5th position. But, Daryl, this is in that getting close to that last 100 miles. We talk about 500-mile races. Jeff Hammond, this is where the engine tuners get very, very nervous about parts and pieces in that engine.
And you know why, Larry? Because of the fact these valve springs right now have been cycling all this time. We talked about earlier how much faster the cars are running because of the cooler weather. Well, you take a look at our Ford Cutaway engine. You can imagine this right here is a valve spring going up and down. Here's this piston. You can imagine this speed compared to 9,000 RPM and what is going on inside this engine. Some of these parts are starting to fatigue. Valve springs are breaking. Possibly a rocker arm, piston failures, any number of things in the last 100 miles can get you here at Atlanta because you carry so much of a consistency of high RPMs around this entire racetrack. Remember last time we raced here, Jimmy Johnson, 20 laps to go, had a strong car, broke. So you got to be careful to make the end of this race, guys.
Thanks, Jeff. Jeff Gordon has come back in for a second time.
Yeah, they're checking the toe, and apparently he's scraped the wall or gotten into someone and thinks he knocked the toe out, and the car's not driving to suit him, so they were checking it.
Now, Ward Burton would get the free pass. However, Ward pitted with the lead lap cars, not the lap down cars. We'll see how that turns out.
The Gillette Young Guns. To me, shaving is just like racing. I'll do anything I can to get an advantage. So I use Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette.
It's the closest, most comfortable shave, even against the grain. It keeps me ahead of the competition.
What are you doing in my car?
Nothing.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns.
I mean, my haircut is nice, the dye job, it worked. Good. It's good, huh? Uh-huh.
You charge the batteries, right?
Yes.
And I look good?
Yes. Hey, Dale. We're here for the interview.
Oh, right. Where do y'all want to do it?
You know, wherever you're most comfortable.
Thanks, guys.
Napa Auto Parts, we have great batteries and millions of other quality parts. Napa, get the good stuff.
Why do I pick Enterprise? Because of Maylene, who answers the phone, Alex, who picks me up, and Michelle, who makes renting easy. So all I have to do is drive.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I like a big number, but I love a big sale. Get big, get on track. For the big sale at Radio Shack. Savings galore now in store. Incredible deals too big to ignore.
Radio Shack has free wireless phones for the entire family. Get a Sprint PCS voice phone 3588i for free and up to 5 more phones free with activation of a new line of service with 2-year agreement per phone. Multi-line plans available too.
Radio Shack.
Fox Monday, he's big.
He's coming in!
He's bad.
Open the door!
And nothing can stop Jack Black. Ah! He's scaring the All-American family straight.
Am I getting through to you?
I like his approach.
From the creator of School of Rock.
He's just here to frighten you.
An all-new Cracking Up on its regular night and time, 8:30, 7:30 Central, Fox Monday.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, is brought to you by Radio Shack. Hey, race into your neighborhood, Radio Shack now, and enter the Call Your Driver sweepstakes. You could win a dream trip to the Samsung Radio Shack 500, even a new car. Enter today at Radio Shack. Lap 253, let's bring you up to date with what's happened this afternoon here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jeff Gordon passing for the lead here as Ryan Newman got off to the quick start. Gordon led for 38 laps. Tony Stewart passed him. Stewart led for more than 100 laps. Matt Kenseth, points leader, has problems trying to pit, Jeff Hammond.
Trying to make a green flag stop, coming a little bit hot. Rear brakes locked up on it, round he went. Cost him a lap early on.
The violation of the commitment line, the official rule. Meanwhile, good racing buddies Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. bump. No harm, no foul. And Casey Mears and his Dodge, the 41 car, passing Stewart for the lead. But then Mears having problems in the pits. His crew 18 seconds, so they lose the lead. Ryan Newman took over. Then Jeremy Mayfield taking the lead. And we're back racing under green with Mayfield leading, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ryan Newman. And you're up to date. Let's head back upstairs, rejoin Larry, Darrell, and Mike.
Thanks, Chris. Jeremy Mayfield is the leader. 3 Dodges in the front 4. He leads Earnhardt Jr., Newman, and Mears. The free pass car was Ward Burton. He pitted too soon. NASCAR had him come back in and pit again under that caution, so he did restart at the tail end of the longest line. He is 14th, the last car on the lead lap. It's Mayfield, Jr., Newman, Mears, and Jimmy Johnson in 5th, inside of Casey Mears.
Hey, that's another car that has really done a good job. Chad Knaus and that group, the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson, they've kept up with the racetrack. They've been back there from about 5th to 12th all day long.
And I think you see that little orange tape on the nose there. They put a little tape on the grill as the temperatures went down. They were able to do that. That gives a little bit more downforce. And he looks pretty racy right now coming here with less than 70 laps to go.
We should also give Chad Knaus some credit for his management on pit road as well. He's played the part of traffic reporter of the pits. Overcautious, and can you blame him after last week's collision with Kevin LePage? And now the 48 car a touch too tight as it came in for its last stop. Got an air pressure adjustment, especially that right front, and they bumped up the spoiler. So far, no complaints from Jimmy on this run.
Casey Kane with Matt Kenseth, the point leader, coming into the picture, and the 41 of Casey Mears. Now, Larry, they stop with about 75 laps to go. Will that be their last stop today?
I was going to say the plot has thickened here. It was going to, without that caution, it was going to even out to where everybody could do it on one more stop. They can only run about 55 to 60 laps on fuel. Everyone's going to be short. So the question will be fuel, right side tires, but don't forget, those left side tires have been working mighty hard too. Matt Yoakum, what are they saying in Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s pits?
2 issues for Dale Jr., Larry Mack. One, he said when he was on pit road, the car is filling up with smoke for some reason. Other than that, I like the way it's handling. The other bad news, he is 10 laps shy on fuel.
But I think everyone is. I don't think anyone, Darrell has taught me, never say never, but basically on walking through the garage this morning, no one can come close to running 77 laps on fuel.
I might even agree with you on that one, Larry.
I figured you would.
but you don't have to get the calculator out. There's going to be one more caution.
It's standing by, though. I have to work on it.
I'll let you know.
Junior giving a little wave to Robbie Gordon. Thank you for letting me go. Gordon is not on the lead lap. Junior is.
So that's a nice 5-digit wave.
Tony Stewart coming back. Passing Casey Mears for 7th place. Steve Burns on Stewart.
Hey, Mike, 4 laps before the caution came out, Tony Stewart told his team this thing is plowing so badly we're going to knock the fence down. He said it's like a skateboard off turn 2. When he came to pit road, what they worked on was pulling out a fender that was banged in.
And that would be the fender that got banged in, the left front fender here with Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the front stretch. And like Darrell pointed out, I think 2 things has went against them. That left front fender plus the racetrack cooling down, changing the handling conditions.
Just hard to believe you can sit out there and lead the race like that and have a minor little incident with someone, and now you can't drive it. That's how sensitive these things are.
Yeah, it speeds at 180, 190 miles per hour. That front end, very, very sensitive, especially those front fenders.
Jeremy Mayfield out front, his last victory, Pocono in 2000, when he passed Dale Earnhardt on the last lap.
And you know, his future with this race team the middle of last year was very unknown. This team really came to life as we watched the battle right here between Casey Mears and Greg Biffle for 8th. That team came to life. All of a sudden, everything's good again.
I tell you, I think that's the thing that a Casey Kane brings to a race team like Ray Evernham's. Youth and excitement. It filters right through the whole organization. And when they started talking about Kane was going to come in and drive the 9 car, Ray was miserable last year. Up until all of a sudden things clicked and turned. And now look at him. He's sitting up on that toolbox cheering his team on.
I'll tell you who's cheering also is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s fans. All of them are standing here as he goes up there to battle Jeremy Mayfield for the lead of this race.
Yeah, Junior's going to be okay if his car will stay good. It seems like he falls off more than some of the other guys does as the run goes along.
Friday after qualifying, Junior sounded a little tired frustrated. He mentioned he hadn't been home in 2 weeks. Appearances, testing, and then the problems at Las Vegas. But he doesn't sound tired right now as he goes for the lead.
No problems right now. Let's see who's going to lead this lap. I believe Jeremy Mayfield will still lead it, but I think if Dale Earnhardt Jr. can get the run down into turn 1 on the bottom, he should be able to complete the pass off turn 2.
It'll be close.
His car right now on fresh tires, Darrell, like you said, gets such a bite when he puts that throttle down off the corner.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. guns the Bud Chevy into the lead over Jeremy Mayfield, Ryan Newman, Jimmy Johnson, and Kasey Kahne.
You could have a dash panel made from the same steel as every other truck, or from the quiet steel found only in the new Ford F-150. The choice is yours. This or this. The quietest pickup, period. Only this truck earned the right to be the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
It's NCAA March Madness.
And Papa John's is part of the action.
Tell us about it, Papa John.
First, get any large specialty pizza for a winning price.
And what about the ball?
Yes, get a limited edition Final Four basketball and a Coke for just $5.99.
Get a limited edition basketball and any 2-liter of Coca-Cola for just $5.99 when you buy any large Papa John's specialty pizza for just $10.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Call now and have a ball.
People love that ball.
16 million people will come to WebMD this month. Some will learn about a condition or a diagnosis. Others will chat with experts. Many will simply decide when to visit a doctor. We'll help them all to navigate WebMD's wealth of medically reviewed information to find exactly what they need. Americans may have thousands of different questions about their health, but now they have a single place to find the answers.
Nextel celebrates the heritage of NASCAR.
Bobby Allison. Atlanta was a little bit different from the normal oval track. Atlanta was 4 individual corners and real fast straightaways. The more the other guys complained about a track, the better I liked it.
Kids are always looking to sports for role models. It's good to know they're looking in the right places. Nextel, proud to be fans.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, is brought to you by Nextel. Coast-to-coast walkie-talkies in under a second. NASCAR and Nextel, partners in speed. By Napa Auto Parts. Napa, get the good stuff. By Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza. And by WebMD, redefining modern medicine.
54 laps to go and a sea of red as Dale Earnhardt Jr. experiencing a little March Madness, leading the race, and Jeff Hammond, his fans up on their feet when he took the lead moments ago.
He's back. As you sit there and look at the Budweiser Chevrolet right there leading down in the corner. I mean, when he took that lead, Chris, I'm telling you, everybody came to their feet, and I could not believe the amount of red up there in the grandstand. He has really got a lot of support here today in Atlanta.
I know you've been on this most of the day. We've been discussing it, but after the great start and then the disappointment in Las Vegas, this critical for them to bounce back. How have they been able to do it, Dale and Jill Jr. and his team?
I think that the best way to sum it up is perseverance. They have really gotten after this problem that they had at Las Vegas. They weren't going to just kind of like say, well, it was a bad day and let it go. They went immediately and started testing, trying to figure out what was wrong with the race car, and I think they have. This whole team has rallied behind that bad situation right there, and they're getting it done. As we got a battle right now with Ryan Newman, 3rd, 4th, and 5th there. I mean, they're really getting after it with Jimmy Johnson.
And looking, back at 5th and 6th, it's not exactly 1-2, but Kasey Kahne slightly ahead of Matt Kenseth. And these two have been paired in the last couple of races, and Casey's been the runner-up in that case.
Yeah, the only thing different right now is Kasey Kahne's in 5th place. Matt Kenseth is 6th. We'll take a look back from Robbie Gordon's car to Ryan Newman right now, who's in third place. So we got a pretty good battle going on here.
And, of course, with Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading this race, you know, maybe another rivalry that has been going since the Busch Series when Kenseth and Dale Earnhardt Jr. were going at each other.
Yeah, it's true right there. As you see, Dale Earnhardt continue to lead right there. But we got really a hot battle going on there between Jimmie Johnson and Ryan Newman. Jimmie Johnson's trying to make his way back up here to the front. They've been doing a really good job all day in the pits with Chad Knaus and his whole team here. Jimmie Johnson gets almost to the inside of the 12 car.
As the battle for third, and of course, Jeremy Mayfield currently running second behind your leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. with 50 laps to go. Let's go back up and rejoin Larry, Darrell, and Mike.
Fellas, some of the red in that grandstand is Dodge red because Kasey Kahne is the fastest car on the racetrack. You see, he has caught Ryan Newman and Jimmie Johnson. He's coming back.
He is, and the other guy that's not too far behind him is Matt Kenseth. What a recovery for that team to get back on the lead lap, up in 6th place, and if they have a good green flag stop like they're known to do, don't count him out either.
And I was just going to say, guys, should we not get another caution? We are due for that green flag stop in about 30 laps, and I just believe that's going to dictate the outcome of this race. Who can make no mistakes, like the driver make a mistake, Matt Kenseth coming on the pit road. You can't make a mistake like he just made right there, hitting the wall coming off turn 2 as well. But I think no mistakes on that pit stop, and what you do on that pit stop is going to dictate the outcome of this race.
Let's see how much of the wall Kasey Kahne just got.
Oh, that was just a little brush.
He dusted it.
He's just good to go.
He just dusted it a little bit.
Took some of that red off.
Chevrolet leading, Dodge in the next 3 spots. Dodge has not won in Atlanta since Richard Petty this race in 1977.
Well, right now we have one running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
They're lurking.
Kasey Kahne trying to pick up where Ryan Newman left off. As far as top 5 rookie finishes.
Speaking of Ryan Newman, that's who he's racing so hard here for 3rd.
And see,
12 car.
The difference in a rookie and a veteran, you know, a veteran would say, okay, I got to slow down and analyze what happened. You know, did I hurt my car? Did I knock the tire? Am I going to have a fender rub and blah, blah, blah? Young guys, they don't slow down at all. They just keep on going. Oh, I just brushed the wall a little bit.
Well,
right, Matt?
If Matt knows anything.
DW, you're exactly right. And one trait that Kasey Kahne continues to show, when bad things happen, he remains calm. Remember back to Las Vegas, had one bad run, he dropped back, fought his way back up. He has rebounded from that trouble on pit road. He says the car, which was loose earlier, is now just a tick tight on entry. He's brushed the wall twice today. He told his spotter, Michael Landis, over the last one, it's perfectly fine. Dick?
Had led the early portion of this section, but he has dropped all the way back to 10th spot right now. I just talked to Jimmy Elledge, his crew chief. Jimmy said that they simply got behind on their pit stops, got behind on their adjustments, and as a result, right now, the car is loose.
Darrell, I've long said these young fellows have 3 things they don't have to worry about that older fellows do. No KMR, no kids, no mortgage, no retirement plan. That's all way off in the future for them.
Yeah, you're right.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. up on Jeremy Mayfield by 1.3 seconds. Then Kasey Kahne, Ryan Newman, Jimmie Johnson.
So this is the living room, plasma TV,
The awesome sound system!
toast,
The hot tub.
the grill.
Oh, yeah. Did I mention the driveway?
Check out Visa.com to learn how you and 3 friends could win the ultimate NASCAR experience. Stay in a luxury RV, get a hot lap with Rusty Wallace or Kurt Busch, and possibly win a prize bonus. Visa, proud sponsor of NASCAR. It's everywhere you want to be.
Colorado Z71 with an available 220 horsepower engine.
You're it.
Don't let all that power go to your head. Chevy, an American revolution.
Hey, sweet thing, need to boost some energy? Try some YJ Stinger. Hey, slugger, need to improve your performance? Take a swing with the Sting. Pounding Punch, Enraged Raspberry, or Sinful Citrus. With No metal or medicine aftertaste. You're gonna feel the sting.
This pounded punch is a grand slam.
And this sugar-free enraged raspberry is delicious.
YJ Stinger made by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Catch the buzz.
Feel the sting. You are the man.
If you want to tame your turf, you can. If you want to trim it, chop it, or just take a little off the sidewalk, you can. The Home Depot makes it easy with great brands like John Deere, Toro, and Honda. And now get no payments, no interest till March 2005 on any lawn and garden power equipment purchase of $299 or more. Just use your Home Depot consumer credit card. If you want to make the grass greener on your side, you can. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
How you doing on gas?
Doing fine.
How's she holding?
Really loose from the turns. Got a little rough back there.
Think it's tire pressure?
Nah, I need help. We got to bring her in.
Okay, I've got you covered. Take the 34 exit off the highway. You'll see Rick's Automotive on your right. They'll fix you up.
Will do. Thanks. Now, crew chiefs and everyday drivers can get instant access to a nearby technician. Just click on NASCAR.com, go to the auto section, and enter your zip code for a shop near you.
The Golden Corral 500 on Fox, presented by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, is brought to you by Sunoco, the new official fuel of NASCAR. Good enough for NASCAR, good enough for your car. NASCAR like you've never seen it before. NASCAR IMAX 3D. The grand premiere 1 week ago in Los Angeles. And now it has shattered all records for an original IMAX movie in its first week in screens near you.
The avid fan's going to get closer than they ever have been. And then the casual fan is, one, going to get a bit of an education about things and see some stuff that, the basics of what our sport's about.
IMAX NASCAR 3D. Hats off to Simon Windsor, Neil Goldberg, all the folks involved, because I was blown away. You see things like you've never seen them before, and to see them in 3D, it just jumps off the screen at you, and it's 45 heart-pounding minutes. Worth the ticket.
Yep, we've got 125,000+ people here today that'll vouch for that. This is an exciting sport to watch.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has opened up a 1.9-second lead on Jeremy Mayfield, Matt, with one pit stop to go.
And that pit stop could be very crucial for Dale Jr. getting back to victory lane. Walt Smith, you rallied the guys. You gave them a pep talk. What did you tell the Bud guys?
Basically, I told them that they've had an awesome day in the pits all day, and I don't want them to rest on their laurels. They're going to be remembered by what they do on this last pit stop. We went over all different scenarios. If it's gas only, if it's 2 tires, if it's 4 tires. I told them whether it's caution or a green flag. I told them what to expect, what each guy had to do, and I said above all to relax and not make any mistakes.
Dale Jr. told me in Daytona his goal this year, 5 wins. He knocked off number 1 at Daytona. He told me this weekend maybe number 2 will come here. He's never won here in Cup.
And Mike, Darrell, for so many years, it was the crew chief that came off the box and gave that pep talk. He's the defensive coordinator talking to his defensive line. The offensive coordinator talking to his offensive line, knowing Jeff Hammond that this race can be won or lost on that last pit stop.
Most definitely it can. The thing I find more interesting right now is what Walt Smith alluded to. Maybe a gas and go, maybe only 2 tires, but Larry, this close to the end, gas and go is real problem.
Well, and that's the reason that you have the pit crew coach to worry about that pit crew right now. The big decision of what to do, that's what that crew chief has to be thinking about right now.
I'd be a little bit concerned, though, with the tire wear I think that we've been getting, particularly on the right rear. I have to take at least 2 tires. I believe I could get 2 can of fuel and still be okay.
And what you have to be careful, Darrell, Atlanta, for whatever reason, it's just atrocious for changing the handling characteristics of the race car, changing just 2 tires. Yeah, you almost have to make an adjustment with it.
He's got these guys. I mean, it's not like you're out there all by yourself and you can kind of do what you want to do. You still got to be smart and make the right call here.
About 16 to 20 laps to pit for the leaders. You'll see it come through again on the crawl at the top of your screen. Remember the second green flag pit stop and the difficulty during those stops the leaders had with cars on fresh tires being so much faster than them. I've got to agree, Darrell. I'd want tires.
Yeah, I know I'm going to take 2. I got to take 2. I think you can give me 2 tires. I got to have a can of fuel. I got to at least have one whole can of fuel. So I believe you can give me 2 tires and a can of fuel.
Yeah, well, these guys can change right side tires in about 7 seconds. I need you there for about 5 seconds of fuel. The 2 tires are almost free.
Tony's rebounded a little bit. You know, he was struggling there for a while, but they've made the car better, and he's back up to 7th place. Not near as good as he was early on, but at least rebounded some.
But I tell you, the car, the comers, the goers, Greg Biffle there in the 16 car up there leading the race not that many laps ago. He's back there in 8th position, 13 seconds behind our leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Larry, I mean,
And
what
here
about?
he comes. I was going to say, can you say short pit?
Yeah. Well, what about if I'm him now? I'm short pitting. I'm going to take 4 because I'm going to make up all the time I can before these other cats pit.
Yeah, he will be flying on those 4 fresh tires. I think this is a no-brainer, Steve Burns. 4 tires.
Hey, Larry, we're listening to Doug Richard and driver Greg Biffle talk about it. Richard said, let's gamble, let's pit right now. They also talked about making a wedge adjustment. Right side tires going on for Biffle. He's keeping his foot on that brake pedal so they don't repeat the same problem. Left side tires going on, and they do not make a wedge adjustment. 4 tires of gas.
Now, Larry and Darrell, if he has 4 tires, does everybody else have to take 4 tires?
Well, we'll kind of have the crew chiefs, and then everybody's going to figure out where he is in the scheme of things and how much time's he making up. Then they'll decide.
Yeah, right now our leaders are running in the high 31-second bracket. What we'll have to do is monitor how fast Greg Biffle is on these 4 fresh tires.
Plus, you got to remember something. He was falling back. He wasn't running near as well as he was earlier. So he needed to come now, get the tires, and hopefully make his car better. If he can't win the race, at least charge back up through there and get a good top 5 finish.
The crew chiefs have access to the same timing and scoring information that we bring to you. So Biffle's times will be a topic of interest in all the lead lap pits.
Just speaking of red, though, look at the Dodge boys. Their teammates, Jeremy Mayfield in the 19, Casey Kane in the 9. You know, I talked to Ray Evernham a lot over the winter, and he's so proud of this organization. This is its 4th year. Every year, this race team, this operation, has won at least 1 pole and at least has 1 win.
One other lead lap car pitting is Jimmy Johnson. Jeannie?
Well, Chad Canals told his driver, Jimmy Johnson, we are going to get you a couple of spots in this pit stop. 4 tires, and of course they're pulling a rubber out of the left side, and he's off. Let's see if Chad hold true.
Rookie Scott Riggs pitting as well.
Here comes Matt Kenseth in the 17 car. Remember the mistake by him. He definitely don't come on the pit road too hot this time.
No, I think that was just purely and simply the brakes were not warm when he came on pit road.
And I have to believe all these cars pitting this early will definitely take advantage of the 4 fresh tires.
Pit stops with 27 laps to go. And at this point, would you need 2 cans of gas?
No, you'll only need 1 can. Here comes Jeremy Mayfield, our 2nd place car. Dick Berggren, I bet he gets 4 tires too.
Yeah, I bet he will as well because the car is pushing. He used the word plow. That's a word you've heard before, Larry McReynolds. And they had planned to pit exactly at this point about 15 laps ago. Crew has done a terrific job all day long. They have been very fast, no mistakes. Another good pit stop for Jeremy Mayfield.
Tony Stewart and Dale Jarrett are in. Let's go to Stewart's pit.
Mike, a round and a half out of the left rear, a wedge adjustment, and they also take air out of the right rear tire on that number 20 Chevrolet of Tony Stewart. Left side tires coming off and back on. 4 tires for Stewart.
4 tires also for Dale Jarrett, and here comes Casey Kane.
And here comes Casey Mears, here comes Jeff Gordon. Now, Matt Yoakum. We'll talk about Dale Earnhardt Jr. in a second.
Kane's going to get, it looks like, 4 tires.
If I was Junior, I wouldn't stay out there much longer. These guys on these fresh tires, they're going to be coming in a hurry.
No, he's got to do one thing or the other right now. He's got to come get 4 tires, Jeff Hammond, or he may just roll the dice, keep running as far as he can, and maybe just go for that splash of fuel or 2 tires, but he's going to give up a lot of time here, Jeff.
He really is. Early in the day, I was watching Tony Stewart lead this race. He had like a 5-second lead. Casey Kane came down pit road 4 laps sooner than he did, and by the time you know it, he was right back there even with him. So you got to look at it like that. He's already on pit road, guys.
Casey Mears got 4 tires. So did Jeff Gordon. Kurt Busch is in.
We're pulling tires on the left side.
So is Dale Earnhardt Jr.
and a gas in.
Dave Blaney. on the right of your screen.
And what they're telling them, all we need is 1 can of fuel. That way the fuel man's out of the way by the time the guys come around to the left side. They won't be in his way. I think the tempo has been set here. I think everyone will definitely change 4 tires because just about all of our leaders have been to pit road now. Now, Ryan Newman in the 12 car, he has assumed the lead. Now, he would be the person, Darrell, that either has to come to pit road now or get those 4 tires, or is he going to be the one to roll the dice, as they have done many times in the past, and stay out there as long as they can?
Someone has to do it, and it's probably designated to the 12.
And if a caution should come out, Matt Boyle and his crew chief and his group, they would definitely be hero material.
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy, they would pin everybody but Dale Jr. a lap down. Not going to happen, as here comes the pole sitter, Ryan Newman, into the pit lane.
And it appears that right now, it looks like Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 car, he will have the lead, Matt Yoakum.
And Ryan Newman makes his way down for his final stop. No adjustments for Dale Earnhardt Jr., by the way, when he made his stop. A great stop by the 9 and the 8. Let's see if Ryan Newman's guys can pull off a stellar stop as well. They don't need a full load of fuel since they don't have to run as many laps. A good solid stop going so far by the 12 guys. No chassis adjustments for Newman. Drops the clutch as the 41 car goes behind the wall. Tough luck for him. Great stop by the 12 guys.
And that would be the second Ganassi car to possibly have an engine failure.
Yeah, Jamie McMurray already out with engine trouble, and now Casey Mears has coasted into the garage and likely out of the top 10 in points. Second place, make that third place battle, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr.
Boy, it's tough sledding down on the inside, coming off these corners beside someone.
And this is actually a battle for second, and Casey Kane in the 9, he's right there with him. But Jeremy Mayfield is loving what he's seeing right here because he's stretching that lead out.
Larry, what we talked about earlier, Jimmy Johnson right there pitted early along with the 19 car, and that's what happens to Dale Earnhardt for sticking out so long. Now, these new tires may give him an advantage here later on, but right now he's got to run all these guys down and pass them.
Yeah, right now Jeremy Mayfield's running 30-30s and 30-40s. These guys are racing each other at 30-60s and 30-70s with 19 laps to go.
Mayfield has a 1-second lead on Dale Jr. Will it be enough? 19 laps to go in the Golden Corral 500.
You know the feeling. Every guy's had it. You're unbeatable, unstoppable. You got that walking on water feeling. You look, they smile. You win, they go home.
The feeling that you get when you're at your very best.
Yeah. And once you had the feeling, you want it back. There's nothing like it. It's the best. It's the feeling you get every day with the world's best shave. Mach 3 Turbo. It's like having an angel by your side. Every move is smooth. Every word is cool.
Gillette, the best and nothing less.
Yeah.
You know
I never want to lose that feeling. It's the best, man.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Describe the perfect day, Liz.
Well, we're driving to the lake. The kids watch a DVD, and Joe and I have some quality time.
Joe?
Okay, we're barreling along. The Hemi's kicking some serious butt. Then we fish.
Ah, see, you're not traveling in the same vehicle.
The all-new Durango. Big size, smooth ride, Hemi power.
What a quack.
The all-new Dodge Durango, starting under $26,600.
For race car driver Ward Burton, one of the benefits of driving the Net Zero high-speed car is he gets his very own high-speed internet service. With Net Zero High Speed, he surfs the web up to 5 times faster. Yeah, Ward gets all the speed he can handle, and he's not afraid of speed.
It's this logo thing that's starting to scare me.
Get Net Zero High Speed for just $14.95 at netzero.com.
I have got to have a talk with those boys.
What? Hey! What are you doing up? Why are you looking at me like that? You don't think this is mine, do you? It's Rick's. You know, he loves flavor. He's Mr. Cold Filtered. He's into smoothness. Okay, here's the thing. I have a chance to be really happy with my beer, and I'm taking it. I'm just a man.
The ultimate night out is about to turn rotten.
We had 15% for the service.
Where is the manager?
Is this gonna be shoe store bad or circus bad?
Now will Lois's boycott
We are never eating pizza again.
be sabotaged by her own family?
That was the taste of evil. Gooey, delicious evil.
Malcolm, all new at 9/8 Central tonight on Fox.
What a difference a week makes. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Off turn 2, powered past Jeremy Mayfield to take the lead.
And when he took the lead, he drove off into the sunset. Right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr., he don't need anything but this race to just continue to get the laps counted.
There's a couple of things we got to keep our eye on, though, guys. That 9 car is not too far behind the 19, and he is closing in a hurry.
Quaker State aerial coverage. Junior, bottom of your screen. Mayfield at the top. There's Jeremy and Casey Kane closing in. Dick Berggren with Casey Mears.
Yeah, he's behind the wall. Engine let go. You guys had a great run last week. Best run of your career today. How has this team come together so well?
It's just awesome. You know, Target Chip Ganassi Racing has given me everything we needed to go run good. Unfortunately, we had a motor problem today, but we've been pushing Ernie Elliott Engine, those guys to give us what they got, and they've been doing that. And, with getting more horsepower and developing and learning, you're going to have problems, and my hat's off to them because they've really made some good horsepower. We just got to get back at it and try to figure out how to make them live just a little bit longer. I felt it tightening up a little bit early, probably about 40 laps ago, and just trying to baby it a little bit and try to get it home, and leaving out of the pits real hard was just real hard on it. But I'm real proud of my guys. The guys did excellent pit stops today. We got a good race team, and I'm ready to go next weekend.
And this fella showed him a lot today, Mike Joy.
He had a great run going.
And just like Jeff Hammond pointed out, get to that last 50, 75 miles. And remember, a lot of these guys put 100 miles on their engines yesterday. It starts to show up. And trust me, these guys are still thinking hard about that these final 10 laps.
Race teams are like chains. You stretch them, stretch them, stretch them, see what breaks. When that breaks, you fix it. Then you stretch them some more until you get all the links as strong as they need to be.
Well, I know what continues to stretch out. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 8 car, his lead. Right now, he's in a league of his own. He's in the 30-90s. The closest thing to him is Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 car in second at a 31-20. He's beating these guys 3/10 a lap.
High marks, though, to the Evernham team because as a team, they have the best performance of the day. Yes, Junior is leading. His teammate, Michael Waltrip, though, is way down the list, 25th.
Yeah.
Evernham's cars are second and third. The Hendrick cars are fourth. That would be Jimmy Johnson. 10th, Jeff Gordon. And 20th, Brian Vickers. The Penske cars, Newman's great, Rusty wasn't. The Roush cars, Biffle and Kenseth in the top 10. The Gibbs cars, Stewart in 8th, Bobby Labonte way down the chart, and so on. It's really been an up and down day for most of these race teams except Ray Evernham.
He has them both right there, and they've been there for most of the day.
Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart, this is 7th place, about 14 seconds behind the leader.
And this is 2 cars that earlier in the day looked like they were going to be the car that beat all day long. Again, I think the big turning point for Tony Stewart, the 20 car, was when he had got that left front fender beat in by Dale Earnhardt Jr. here on the front stretch. Never could recover from that. Plus, I think the racetrack changed.
The racetrack changed too, but I was surprised they didn't react to that quicker because we saw it from up here. It looked pretty serious. It took them a while before they recognized that.
Add the Yates teams to the hits and misses. Dale Jarrett is 9th, while his teammate Elliott Sadler is 30th. He struggled all day long since the drop of the green flag.
And I think the biggest thing, Mike, remember we talked about it in the beginning of the day, only 3 caution periods to make adjustments on your car besides those green flag stops. There's just not been many opportunities to fix a car that's been off.
Now Ryan Newman, our pole sitter, as you have a look at Ward Burton, who is going to go a lap down. Ward's had a good day for a fellow who's been fighting the flu, and they had Jason Leffler suited up to qualify that car Friday, but Ward hopped in it and did a good job. and he's hung on to the lead lap just about all day.
3 cautions. You know, he's never had a chance to rest whatsoever. And Darrell, can you imagine running this 500-mile race with the flu and only getting 3 cautions to catch your breath?
Yeah, it's tough, but you go over to the infield care center this morning, you get a couple of quarts of fluids pumped in you, and I'll tell you, Larry, you don't know. You get down in that race car, it's nice and warm and snuggly, and you don't even think about feeling bad. You just drive the wheels off of it.
You forget about a lot of things.
Yes, sir. You just in your own little world.
4 to go. Ryan Newman, the pole sitter, had a chance to win it, but did he stay on the racetrack too long in the final run?
I think he did. You know, he was the last one to take advantage of those 4 fresh tires, and now he's 8.5 seconds behind our leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's just trying to hang on for a top 5 finish, which, like Dale Earnhardt Jr., considering his run at Las Vegas, would not be a bad day.
Matt Kenseth had a good day. It turned pretty ugly when he spun that car getting onto pit road, but boy, have they rebounded.
Yes, they have. Not to the degree I think they would like to, but they have rebounded nicely.
For the hole they dug themselves, Darrell, they filled it in nicely.
That's what they do the best. They continue. Every time they have a problem, they are able to overcome it, and overcome it at the racetrack today.
Kenseth is 6th of 12 cars on the lead lap as Dale Jr. continues to click off laps right on 31 seconds flat. 2 to go.
2 to go, and he has a pretty clear racetrack in front of him. I think he just needs to make sure he hits his marks and keeps his nose clean here for about a lap and a half.
Yeah, he's got her on cruise right now, and a high rate of cruise, I might add.
He's opened up 3.5 seconds on Jeremy.
He hasn't backed off any. He keeps on hammering.
And you know, guys, last week we stood up here in this booth and we questioned, okay, is this now showing an inconsistency of championship form? When you come back from a run like last week to possibly win this race as we have 1 to go, yes, that shows championship contention.
Car really, it's awesome right now. That's as good as it gets. He's right out there rim riding.
And that was the key to Matt Kenseth last year. Make the car better as the day goes on so that the car is at its best at the end of the day.
Yeah, and they've done that today with Junior's car all day long. They just kept improving, and the weather came to them too, I believe.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the Golden Corral 500, climbs to 3rd in the point standings as he notches his 11th career victory and his 5th on a non-restrictor plate racetrack.
And Darrell, you mentioned 122,000 people. I think all of them was standing up as he came across the finish line. Jeremy Mayfield comes home 2nd, Kasey Kahne 3rd, Jimmie Johnson 4th, and Ryan Newman 5th.
Geez, bad week for Kasey Kahne. He dropped to 3rd. That's the kind of bad week I'd like to have. They've been racing here since 1960. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has just become the 38th different driver to drive to victory lane in a Cup race at Atlanta.
Who do you love? Who do you love?
They're the rock stars of NASCAR. They could drive any car they want. So what do they choose to race? The defending manufacturer's champion, Chevy.
Who do you love?
Chevy, an American revolution.
I decided to make some serious changes. And now Chicken McNuggets are made with white meat. If they can change for the better, so can I.
I'm loving it. Advanced Auto Parts. No matter when or where. Advanced Auto Parts. Whatever's waiting there around these parts. Trouble doesn't stand a chance. For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
I like a big number, but I love a big sale. For the big sale at Radio Shack. Savings galore now in store. Incredible deals too big to ignore.
Now at Radio Shack, get free phones for the entire family. Get this Motorola C343 phone for free, and up to 4 more free phones with 2-year agreement per phone. Plus, free in-network calling to any Verizon Wireless customer from the national in-network coverage area.
Radio Shack.
You are watching Fox Sports.
Right after Laugh Out Loud Sunday on Fox 10 News at 9. Tired of your treadmill? Barbells got you bummed? Now new technology might help make fitness fun again.
This motivates you to stay on a proper exercise regime.
Can these new high-tech gadgets put the wow back in your old workout? Tonight on Fox 10 News at 9. Just you watch the best.
The all-new Chevy Colorado. 3 cabs, 3 suspensions, 1 bad truck. And here's one great idea. Now you can leave your checkbook at home. Qualified lessees can lease a Colorado Z85 for around $249 a month with zero due at signing. Tax, title, license, and deed of fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Chevy Colorado. Turn the key. Start a revolution. See your Valley Chevy dealer or visit valleychevy.com today.
There are 2 ways to kill weeds. New Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only Season Long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season or spend the season killing weeds. New Ortho Season Long Grass and Weed Killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
Welcome to the Nextel Post-Race Show, brought to you by Nextel. NASCAR and Nextel, partners in speed.
Chevy congratulates Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car. The Monte Carlo team's big win. No car has dominated Cup racing like the defending manufacturer's champion. Chevy, an American revolution. And what a moment for Dale Earnhardt Jr. with Jeff Hammond. Chris Myers, we're down in victory lane, and it's okay at the corral for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Definitely, as you talk about a comeback. Now, this right here is what you call bowing your neck and getting the job done right there. As you can see him behind us right now, he is really excited, and I mean, this is what it's supposed to be.
In victory lane, the foam is flying. The 8 car is parked, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is up on top, just where he was before Las Vegas. And what a bounce back, what a rebound. The time to pit, the decision to pit, the response from his crew. And Dick Berggren is there in the celebration. Dick?
What a lot of beer down here, I'm going to tell you. Attaboy, Junior. How is it possible to have had such a tough week last week and to go so well this week?
Man, I don't know. Talk about from zero to hero. That was awesome, though. Just a great race car at the end when it counted.
How about your test this week? Did that help you today?
Yeah. We're going to test it to Texas next week, too, so we're going after it. Man, I wore out. That was as hard as I ever go.
How was your race today?
How's my race?
Yeah.
It was fun. The tire is a little out of control, but we held on to it.
Who was your toughest competition out there?
Myself.
How so?
Just trying not to spin out, and it was real loose.
Congratulations. Great job. Steve Burns.
Well, Jeremy Mayfield, Dale Earnhardt Jr. just said that's the hardest he's ever driven in his life. How about you?
Well, it feels like we ran hard today. I know he did too, and you know, we just come up a little short, but all in all, I'm really proud of my guys, man. Everybody on this Evernham Motorsports Dodge worked hard today, and we've been working hard all year, but just we didn't make any mistakes, and the guys did a great job on pit road, and we just come up a little bit short to him, but it seemed like they got better as they went, and we kind of got tighter on the last couple of stops, but all in all, great day for us.
First top 5 of the season. Let's go to Matt.
Steve, Casey Kane's first 500-mile race. You nearly pulled off the win. Did the car get too tight at the end, Case?
Yeah, we got too tight. We were loose all day long, and you know, good run for our Dodge dealers team. Jeremy run second, and you know, Dale Jr. won. So it was a good race. It was a long race, and we just got a little too tight there at the end. But you know, definitely a good day for Ray Evernham.
What a great 3-race run here. A second, and a third for Casey Kane. Jeannie?
Well, Jimmy Johnson, this is more like it. Surrounded by media, excuse me, ladies. Textbook
day for you, really, just adjusting the car all day and then hitting the end. You guys hit your stride. Did you have a car to win it?
I don't know if we had one to win it. We were about an adjustment or two away. We'd been fighting a real loose race car all day long, and then finally got it tightened up there at the end, and probably went a little too far. But you're just chasing your tail here all day long. The sun comes out, goes away, so it really changes things. But there's a couple cars like the 8 that was on rails at the end, and we would have needed to have had at least 1 or 2 more adjustments to hang with them. But I'm very happy for the Lowe's team. We definitely needed this top 5 today to pick us back up in points, and just want to thank everybody at the shop for working so hard all winter long, and all the guys on the team as well.
All right, congratulations. That's the goal, get back to the top 10. Guys?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has taken a seat in victory lane. He is pretty worn out. Let's listen to him as he came to the to the finish line.
Hey, good job, guys. That's awesome. Good job all day. Man, what a weekend, huh?
It was awesome, Darrell, but he said his toughest competition was himself. What did he mean?
Well, he just didn't want to beat himself. I preach that all the time. Last week they beat themselves. This week they rallied, recovered. He's back in the points battle again, and I think that's what he was talking about.
And Larry, he said the car was best at the end of the day.
And that's when you have to be. I mean, especially at a racetrack that changes as much as this track did today. And once again, as we talked all during the race, very few opportunities to adjust that car, but they made the right adjustments when it counted on that last pit stop.
Junior rebounds from 7th to 3rd in the Nextel Cup point standings. Matt Kenseth, another great finish. He's the leader. Tony Stewart 2nd. Junior 3rd. How about Casey Kane ahead of 4-time champ Jeff Gordon?
Already the 3 races, 204 out.
All right, thanks, guys. And at 500 miles, grueling wear and tear as Jeff and I continue from the victory lane section here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and behind us, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the crowd celebrating. Let's talk about, again, the bounce back here. And I think there was a critical point there of when to pit, and then we saw the pit crew of Dale Earnhardt Jr. rise to the occasion.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, that's what they really proved today. They have the intestinal fortitude to get up on the wheel, do the work necessary to get him back up where he can compete for a win. And when it came time for showtime, this team performed like they needed to. They got him off a pit road, and it's a tribute to trying to win a championship. This is the kind of guys you got to have on your side.
No driver won more races here in Atlanta than the late great Dale Earnhardt, the father of Dale Earnhardt Jr. This is Junior's first win in Atlanta and his first March win. But more importantly, Jeff, 4 races into the Nextel season, and we've had a split in victory. And I just got this dry clean too.
Now you know what victory lane really feels like.
All right.
Way to go, guys. Way to go. That's part of it.
I ordered a Bud Light. It's going to be a part of the victory celebration. And you're taught in television to just talk through these things no matter what.
We're trying here right now, but like you were going to say, 2 wins right now. 2 for Kenseth, 2 for Earnhardt, and it could be looking like a classic battle from years past when these 2 guys battled in the Busch Series, and Earnhardt was able to come out on top there. But right now, it's really going to be interesting to see how these 2 guys kind of duke it out.
Remember the rivalry back in the Busch Series. Thanks. See, that's why I missed the Hollywood Hotel. Remember back in the Busch Series, it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. getting the best of Matt Kenseth, right? He won the Rookie of the Year in the Busch Series. He won the points championship. Then Matt Kenseth, when they get to the Cup Series, Matt edges out Earnhardt Jr. for the Rookie of the Year. Matt wins the points championship. And it looks like these 2 are gonna be at each other all season long.
I think so. I think we got a classic matchup going on right now with these 2 heavyweights, basically, and it's going to be really exciting to watch.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. It was.
All right, let's talk about next week as the Hollywood Hotel and our traveling celebration roadshow moves to Darlington for another full weekend of racing. Friday, the Busch Series qualifying, followed by Nextel Cup qualifying on speed. Saturday, the Busch Series racing presented by Yamaha, followed by Nextel practice on FX. And Sunday, start your day with NASCAR this morning at Fox Sports Net, followed by the Nextel Cup racing on Fox. Ricky Craven trying to defend his title against the world's best drivers. NASCAR, it's where America gathers every weekend to watch racing on Fox. And our drive-through championship fueled by Powerade, Kurt Busch, the team last week. Each week we donate money to the pit crew that does the best, and certainly Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his crew did their job to help him win today. Special congratulations to Fox Senior Vice President of Field Operations, Andrea Berry, on the birth of her son, Brandon Ellington Berry. Best to the family. Everybody doing well.
Yeah,
Coordinating producer of NASCAR on Fox, Richie Zions. Coordinating director, Artie Kepner. His birthday, happy birthday, by the way. Produced by Neil Goldberg. Pit producers Pam Miller and David Platt. Thanks to Muscles and Bill Richards for their help on the pre-race show. For Jeff Hammond, I'm Chris Myers. For all of us from the Hollywood Hotel, thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox. Next week, you won't want to miss it. We'll be at Darlington.
Lady in Black, here we go.
Craven! Have you ever? No, I've never. Wow. What a finish.
NASCAR's most exciting month happens in the heart of NASCAR country. Spend this May at Lowe's Motor Speedway. First, the action cranks up Saturday night, May 22nd, with the NASCAR Nextel All-Star Challenge. There's never been a racing event quite like it. Then get ready for the big one. Sunday, May 30th, it's NASCAR's most challenging event, the Coca-Cola 600. What driver will have the mettle to make it to victory lane? Be a part of NASCAR's most exciting month. Spend May at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Call for your seats today.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Over the past 10 years, some of the greatest moments in all of sports happened right here on Fox.
Hayes waits. The Yankees are champions of baseball.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, celebrating 10 years of excellence.